The Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic presented by the 100 Black Men of Atlanta. Florida A&M Rattlers taking on the Tennessee State Tigers. A gorgeous afternoon for football in the city of Atlanta, Georgia. A lot of people will come through the Georgia Dome ready to see an intense football game. Florida A&M Rattlers once again taking on their rival, the Tennessee State Tigers, right here on Versus. Hello, everyone. I'm James Verretta, along with longtime NBA, NFL superstar, I would call him, Dorsey Levens. Now, Dorsey, you were here for the first Atlanta Football Classic. Now, 22 years later, how have you seen it grow?
It's evolved. You know, it's bigger than better than ever before. If you come in this building, you're liable to see anybody from movie stars, entertainments, NFL legends, and two great outstanding bands. Let's not forget two good college football teams who have a combined 23 black college national championships between them.
All right, and a lot of people want to see this football game, Tennessee State and Florida A&M. First of all, for Florida A&M, we talk about their quarterback, Martin Opie. He's a new starter, but he's not new to throwing the football.
He's really not. He's a young guy, but he has a ton of potential. Coming off a career passing day last week versus Howard University, he can make plays inside the pocket, outside the pocket with a very strong arm, and he's fast as well. So he can make plays with his feet. Keep an eye out for this guy. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
He's a guy that can throw the football, and he does have some good feet on him.
He really does. You know, he's a guy who can move laterally. He can go back and forth, very fast, very quick, very elusive.
Now, in case he does not have to scramble like he did against the University of Miami, there is a question who will start at running back. Philip Sylvester is keyed in at the starter, but we're not sure if he's healthy to play.
We're really not. He's coming off an ankle injury. He didn't play last week. You can see him testing it in warm-ups. We're not really sure what he's going to do, but he'll be sorely missed if he can't play. In his place will be Eddie Rocker, another young guy, very explosive, leads FAMU in total yards and coming off a 3-touchdown performance versus Howard as well last week.
Now, defensively, they have been able to hang their hat on a swarming defense led by their linebacker, Alvis Graham, who's one of their big hitters.
He really is, and he's all over the place. If you want to find out where the ball is, find him. He led the team in tackles last year, preseason first-team MEAC player.
And behind him is a talented group of defensive backs led by Greg Harvey, the free safety.
Very physical safety. You'll see him playing a lot around the line of scrimmage to stop that Tennessee State running game.
And a lot of NFL scouts want to take a look at Keir Hall. He seems to have big games in this building.
He really does, and he's all over the place. Leads the teams with 19 tackles from the cornerback position. He already has an interception this year as well as a fumble return for a touchdown.
For Tennessee State offensively, their offense has been playing pretty well, but their record really doesn't show it. But Jeremy Perry leads the way for them at quarterback.
Really is a very smart player. He has a 3.8 GPA in the classroom, but he's become a student of the game, understands the offense a lot better. He's making better decisions, and his confidence is sky high right now.
He has the ability to find the open receiver. Doesn't have to run too much because he does have a talented group around him. He has tall receivers, and finding his way is Joseph Hills. He'll be playing with a heavy heart today, the former University of South Carolina wide receiver, and we'll get to that story a little bit later, but he's the kind of guy they really need him to play well.
He really is. He's Jeremy Perry's favorite receiver at 6'5". He led the team in receptions last year, leading them in receiving so far this year. He's had a couple of drops this season, so he's ready to make up for it.
And running the football is Preston Brown. He's almost eclipsed his entire yardage from last season.
Having a great season, coming off back-to-back 100-yard rushing games. Career-high 218 rushing yards against Jackson State a couple of weeks ago. As he goes, as Tennessee State offense goes.
Now, defensively, they've tried to carry this team, and they've had some mishaps of late, but starting up front, Dante Nichols is a big hitter.
He really is a hitter, and he's a beast at the nose guard position. He mans the whole entire inside of that defense, and he's got 2 sacks on the year so far.
Rico Council, the man in the middle, he's basically the quarterback, and he leads by example.
Yes, Heart of a Tiger Courage Award last year. Fearless linebacker, aggressive, nose for the ball. You'll see him around the football a whole lot tonight.
And a lot of NFL scouts want to see Eugene Geno Clifford, 2 interceptions so far this season, a preseason All-American.
Yeah, he's really the heart and soul of this defense. We talked to him yesterday. He's got a chip on his shoulder a little bit because the defensive backs haven't been playing well. He's kind of taking it personally and putting the responsibility on his own shoulders to get those guys up and ready to go.
Now, we've talked about the football, but there's a little bit more going on in the Georgia Dome today. Our third member of the broadcast, Ryan Cameron, is down on the field. And Ryan, I hear that you're looking for a few stars out there.
You know what? There's a lot of stars here today. Candy Burrs is, of course, going to do the national anthem. Will Packer doing the coin toss. They're calling this the world's biggest daytime party, according to the 100 Black Men of Atlanta. But you know what? This is the new green initiative, education. We're talking about 60,000 guys and girls and families that will walk up to the Georgia Dome today. And the money, of course, goes back to the 100 Black Men and their education of focus, of course. Now, the TSU T-shirt says that, of course, you know, graduation, it's what everybody is about. It's what tradition is. That's what they're talking about today. And of course, you guys already know this battle of the bands is a big, big deal. So along with the celebrities, along with all the families and the money that they're going to raise for, of course, education, this is the world's biggest daytime party. Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot. And we come back, we'll have more of the pregame festivities as Florida A&M takes care of Tennessee State in the Atlanta Football Classic on Versus.
It's no chocolate.
Welcome back to the Georgia Dome. Florida A&M taking on Tennessee State Tigers in the Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic, and entering the field, the Rattlers of Florida A&M. And taking the field, the Tennessee State Tigers. And we lead the way with Joe Taylor, who has an impressive resume. Before coming to Florida A&M, he spent a long time at Hampton University, where he won a number of MEAC championships. His alma mater, Western Illinois, but his record has been stellar at Florida A&M, 18-7 entering his third season, and in 28 seasons at 2 schools, he had 216, only 85 losses and 4 ties, and he brings a very focused mindset to Florida A&M. For Tennessee State, Rod Reed, in his first time as a head coach, his first year at head coach at Tennessee State, this is his alma mater. The opportunity to come back home. He was a starting linebacker and an All-American in 3 seasons at Tennessee State. His record so far, 1-2, not indicative of the talent that he has so far. And he is trying to get his team back on track and end a 8-year losing streak to Florida A&M.
Please join us for the presenting of the colors, followed by the national anthem. The colors are being presented by the U.S. Army Color Guard. Today's Color Guard features soldiers from the Atlanta Recruiting Company, Sergeant First Class Williams, Staff Sergeant McCrae, Sergeant Thomas, and Sergeant Regis Marshall. Here to lead us in the national anthem, please welcome Grammy Award-winning singer, songwriter, producer, and member of the hit Bravo TV show, The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Candy.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us for the presentation.
You see, by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallant madly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the pumps bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Now please stand for today's invocation given by Mr. Kenneth Payne, chaplain of the 100 Black Men of Atlanta.
For friends in a world where many walk in hunger, for faith in a world where many walk in fear, for friends in a world where many walk. God, we ask that you be here today. We thank you for this awesome occasion with these two great schools coming together for competition. And we ask that this game be safe. God, we thank you for the 100 Black Men of Atlanta, its sponsors, its mates, and all of the people that work to make this game a success. Let us march on to victory as one. Let everyone say amen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please focus your attention to the 50-yard line, where captains for both schools will gather for the coin toss. Doing the honors is the producer of motion pictures Stomp the Yard, This Christmas, Obsessed, and the #1 movie at the box office when it was released, Takers. Please welcome from Florida A&M, Will Packer.
Tennessee State has won the toss. They've elected to receive. Gentlemen, shake hands. Have a great game.
And Tennessee State has the ball first. And Dorsey, it seems as though this may be a good thing for Tennessee State to have the ball first to see if they can get their offense going.
Yeah, it really is. Hopefully they can come down, march the ball right down the field, get the ball into Preston Brown's hands, maybe throw the ball to Joseph Hill, but try to create some kind of rhythm here early on and get off to a good start.
Now let's take a look at both teams. Let's take a look at Tennessee State's record so far this season. They opened with a win in the John Merritt Classic against Alabama A&M, and since then, 2 close losses, Dorsey.
Really have. And Coach Rod Reed has been stressing to these players they need to play for 60 full minutes. The last 2 games that they lost, they were in the game all the way down to the 4th quarter and just didn't get it done when the game was on the line.
A reversal of fortunes for Joe Taylor and the Florida A&M Rattlers. They lost their opening game to University of Miami. They used it as a teaching tool, and it seems as though they learned their lessons winning their next 2.
No, they really have. And Coach Taylor talked about how bad he felt about the loss to Miami. Then he saw those guys this Thursday night against Pitt and what they did to those. Now he feels a lot better. Close win the next week, a blowout win the following week. These guys are on a roll right now.
And Joe Taylor is telling his players to be focused mentally first. The physical side will take care of itself as the bands play, and we're almost ready for kickoff. For Tennessee State, they're trying to end a 8-game losing streak to Florida A&M. Ray Witherspoon will be back along with Julian Mallory for Tennessee State. Trevor Scott will be kicking for Florida A&M.
Keep an eye out for Julian Mallory at 5'6", only 137 pounds, but the guy can run.
And Scott will try to do his best to kick away from Ray Witherspoon, who opened the season with an 89-yard kickoff return.
Leads the OVC, the Ohio Valley Conference, to 30.7 yards per return.
And we are underway. Witherspoon will take it at his 20 and quickly brought down at about the 29-yard line. And here comes the Tennessee State offense led by their quarterback, Jeremy Perry.
Jeremy Perry excited about this game as a left-handed quarterback. We see he wears the number 7. His idol, Michael Vick, a guy who's played in this Georgia Dome numerous times. And believe me, that thought has not been lost on his mind entering this game this afternoon.
Perry, a former linebacker at Middle Tennessee State, but played quarterback all through high school. State will start in the eye. You see his numbers. And Perry is going to start with a pass, incomplete, intended for Jeremy Prime. Let's take a look at the rest of Tennessee State's offensive lineup. A huge offensive line: Jordan Edwards, Sherman Carter at center, Alex Davis, and Justin Ridgway. In the backs and receivers, Travis James, Jeremy Pryor, Joseph Hills, John Williams, and Preston Brown, the running back. Second down and 10. They will give to Brown. He has some room to run and more. To the 50, 40, 30. Touchdown, Tennessee State. They're on the board. And as soon as you thought it would be a long way to pay dirt, Preston Brown shows why he stayed in school over the summer.
You know, we talked about entering this game, Tennessee State getting out to a fast start. Preston Brown did say he stayed in school the entire summer to get a better grasp of the offense. Now he sees the plays better. He sees the offensive line blocking. He sees the plays develop, and it showed right there.
John Lopez for the point after attempt. Kick is blocked. Not sure who had the hand on it, but Tennessee State will have to walk away less 1 point, but they do have 6 on the board to open up, and Preston Brown with an incredible run.
You know, it's really just a simple dive play to the right. He sees that hole open, wide open. Offensive line did a great job of blocking. The rest is history. All he's got to do is throw his head back and sprint to the goal line. Great job of blocking by the offensive line.
2 plays, 71 yards, and it only took him 18 seconds to go 71 yards. That's not bad to say you got some pads on, and that's your first carry of the game.
Yeah, that'll definitely get you in the flow of the game right there and get your confidence up extremely high, especially knowing that your offensive line is going to block for you like that, hopefully for the entire game.
And Rod Reed had something special. You may call his offense vanilla, but I call it more vanilla bean. It's a stronger version, but it's very simple.
Yeah, it really is. They're not going to try to trick anybody. They're going to line up and play smash mouth football. They're not going to change anything you've seen the week before on tape. This is what we do, and we do it well. Line up and try to stop it.
Joe Taylor now has to match blow for blow as he trails 6-0. Second play, offensive play for Tennessee State, a 71-yard touchdown run by Preston Brown, and the aristocratic fans will be rocking right now, knowing that their team has an early lead.
FAMU's got to be on their heels a little bit, not expecting that on the second offensive play from scrimmage. So those guys to come out and just run the ball straight down the field, 71 yards without anybody laying a finger on Preston Brown. Jamin
Godfrey will kick for Tennessee State. Dangerous return man in Jarrell Stewart. He replaced an All-American in Leroy Van. Stewart will take it at his own 7. Has a little room, escapes one tackler, but is brought down at about the 27-yard line. Brought down by Jeremy Jones, good open field tackle, and Martin Opie will take over to see if he can match blow for blow. Numbers-wise, he has done pretty good. 52% completion rate, 3 touchdowns opposed to only 1 interception. He's not as physically big, but he's a very mobile guy, Dorsey.
He really is. You know, like you said, at 6'3", only 170 pounds. He's kind of wiry, but at the same time, that helps him when he's trying to get away from defenders. Really hard to grab a hold to.
And we do know we have a change at running back. Philip Sylvester will not start. Number 9, Eddie Rocker, is the only running back along with Opie. Martin is going to pass, first play out, getting some pressure. Breaks the line of scrimmage, may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Joseph Wiley in on the tackle. Let's take a look at the Florida A&M offensive line. They have been battered and bruised. Curry, Moreland, Shelley Anthony at center. Robert Hartley and Christopher Sands. He is a all-MEAC offensive lineman of the week. Wide receivers, very talented. Isaac West, along with Elliott. In the backfield, you have Eddie Rocker instead of Philip Sylvester, Max Purcell, and Evander Wilson. That was a game-time decision. Coach Taylor trying to be a little coy to see if he was going to play his senior running back. They give to Rocker, and Rocker goes nowhere fast. Good open field tackle made by Marcus Broxy, along with Wiley. Let's take a look at that Tennessee State defense. Broxy making that tackle along with Crawford. Dante Nichols, a transfer from South Carolina. Lamar Wallace, linebacker core and defensive backfield, very talented. Tarver, Rico Council, and Wilson Robinson. And the defensive backfield, led by Eugene Clifford, Marquez Hall, Joseph Wiley, and Justin Bather. They have Florida A&M in a 3rd and long situation. Opie looking to pass, getting some pressure. Had a wide open receiver, but threw it behind him. Isaac West was right there, but it seemed as though that pressure made that pass go a little errant.
Yeah, it did. It was a safety blitz off the left-hand side. It picked up a little bit, but not enough. He could feel the pressure coming from his right-hand side. He releases it just a little bit too early, and he misses a wide open West right there.
Brandon Holdren will punt for Florida A&M, and back deep for Tennessee State is Ryan Berry. Good kick. Berry will take it at his own 25. Eludes one tackler, eludes another, and another. Close to midfield. Brought down at the Florida A&M 45-yard line. Great run back, tackle made by Hollinshead, and when we come back, we will see if Tennessee State can add on to their 6-0 lead. You're watching the Atlanta Football Classic on Versus.
Smith.
Welcome back to live action. You see Ryan Berry had a 31-yard punt return there, checking out his left ankle. And Dorsey, this is a great individual effort.
It really is. He got some good blocks early on, but just right here, just making guys miss in the open field. You can see his speed going sideline to sideline. Just a great run. He's been good all year. Tennessee State special teams on a whole have been great all season.
And Ryan Berry is getting that left ankle tended to. He limped off the field after a 49-yard punt by Brandon Holdren. Key return there to put Tennessee State in good field position. Sending Hills in motion. They give it to Brown. He breaks the line of scrimmage, but this time he is brought down quickly. Willie Farrell on the tackle. Let's take a look at that Florida A&M Rattler defense. Up front, Nicholas Hollinshead, Jerry Willis, and Marquise Ramos. Now the linebacking core is very talented. Alfonso Walker, Alvis Graham is the quarterback, Willie Farrell, and Demarius Folsom. Defensive backfield just as talented, Keir Hall, Holcomb, John Ojo, and Gregory Harvey, who will come up and make a big hit from that free safety position. London Davis, the tight end for Tennessee State, is down right now. They're attending to his left knee or ankle. And Tennessee State so far this season, Dorsey, has been pretty much injury-free. When we come back, we'll see how Tennessee State can adjust if they have to lose their starting tight end.
TV star. Come on, son. You never be like your dad.
Gentle knockout, there will no longer be doubt. He hears the move, but he won't stop till his name is what they shout. Great expectations.
Convert the non-believers with the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. AT&T. Rethink possible. The new BlackBerry Torch with a slide-out keyboard for $199.99. Only from AT&T.
You must. Welcome back to the Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic. We see London Davis. He was helped off the field. It seems as though he's trying to work off whatever is bothering him. But as Tennessee State's momentum continues, Dorsey, injuries are continuing to mount up. Ryan Berry has gone out, and now Davis. Second down and say about 8 yards to go for the first. They give to Brown. He breaks the line of scrimmage again. Breaks through one tackle, gets inside the 35-yard line, close enough for a first down. Let's get an injury update from Ryan Cameron.
Yeah, guys, I just talked to Barry. The coach came over and coached him up, said, hey, it's nothing but an ankle. You all right? You all right? He said, yeah, I'm all right. They retaped the ankle, and he's headed back in. Back up to you guys.
The healing power of a coach's word.
Sometimes that's all it takes, is the coach to get in your ear, just to motivate you just a little bit to get back on the football field.
Preston Brown got enough for a first down, 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line of Florida A&M. Perry in the shotgun. Finds Wilson, the receiver, gets inside the 30-yard line. John Ojo on the tackle.
Just really a quick in route by the wide receiver. Jeremy Perry doing a great job of locating him, like we talked about earlier, him being the student of the game and understanding more so what the offensive coordinator expects from him, knowing where all of his players are, locating them and getting them the ball on time.
You see London Davis still trying to work that injury off, but the Tennessee State offense continues to move in a positive direction. Give once again to Brown. He breaks the line of scrimmage, has a few more, breaks one tackle, but is brought down by the shoestrings inside the FAMU 20.
Preston Brown just off to a great start right now. Tennessee State's offensive line manhandling FAMU right now. Down hole, hits it. Nice spin off the safety hit coming up. That's a great job. You know, another thing to look at right now, FAMU started this game off in a 3-4 defense. Every time Tennessee State comes up right now and lines up in a run formation, they switch to a 4-3, but they still don't have an answer for this running game yet.
So far, Preston Brown, 4 carries, 90 yards, and we're still not through with the first quarter. Perry with time to throw, has a receiver, incomplete. Pass intended for Jeremy Perry, but he overthrew him a little bit.
He did. He had him wide open for 6 in the end zone. Great job by Preston Brown picking up the defensive end on the cut block, giving Perry plenty of time to set his feet and throw the ball, just let him out there too far.
Now, Florida A&M's defense is known for their red zone dominance. Their offense has put them in difficult positions time and time again so far this season, and they've been able to step up. Can they do it again? 2nd and 10 for Tennessee State. And we have our first flag of the afternoon.
Ball start. Offense, number 49. 5 yards. Still 2nd down.
And Shannon Easton, our referee. You're starting to see more and more female referees coming into college football, Dorsey.
Yeah, and they're doing a great job. You know, that kind of caught me off guard right there. I didn't know we had a female referee refereeing the game, and I hear the voice, and it's like, whoa. But I'm sure she's going to do a great job.
Moves Tennessee State back 5. I don't think Tennessee State likes her right now. Moves back 5. 2nd down and 15. They give to Brown again, a huge hole down to about the 15-yard line. Tackle made by John Ojo. 10 yards on the carry.
Once again, Tennessee State showing their hand before the snap of the ball, motioning the fullback over to the play side. FAMU, good job blocking right there. The holes are wide open. He wasn't touched until he's 7 yards down the field.
And so far for Preston Brown, look at this. 5 carries, 100 yards.
20-yard average per carry is not pretty bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I can live with that.
3rd down, call it 5 in the red zone. Perry looking for Hills, finds Hills. Touchdown, Tennessee State.
Great throw and catch by Jeremy Perry and Joseph Hill. We talked about it in the opening. Joseph Hill 6'5", so he definitely has a height advantage over the smaller Marvin Ross at only 5'10".
And whatever problems Tennessee State has had, it seems as though they've tried to figure it out in this game.
Yeah, and they're doing a great job so far. We talked about playing 60 minutes. The problems they've had are down later on in the game, the 3rd and 4th quarter, but right now off to a great start.
Godfrey with the point after attempt. It is up and good. Timeout on the field. 8:58 left to play. Joseph Hills with a 15-yard touchdown reception from Jeremy Perry, and Tennessee State is up 13-0. The Atlanta Football Classic staged the Parade of Excellence this morning down Peachtree Street. The Grand Marshals were theater director Kenny Leon and television judge Glenda Hatchett. Also marching were the scholars of Project Success. And, of course, there were bands. The Marching 100 of Florida A&M and the Aristocrat of bands from Tennessee State. And here the Aristocrat of bands live here in the Georgia Dome. This is part of the Tyson Chicken Band Jamboree. The Aristocrat of bands, Tennessee State University. And fans, it's time for you to vote for your favorite bands, brought to you by AT&T. Will it be the famous Marching 100 of Florida A&M or the Aristocrat of bands at Tennessee State? Text BAND to 26789 to vote now. Brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. You see a shot of Joe Hills. He is a Florida native. He has heard a lot of talk on the social media coming from Florida A&M players saying that he's not a true Floridian because he is playing in the state of Tennessee.
He did catch a lot of flack coming into this week, but what a great start. He also caught some flack from his PR people saying that he had hands of steel. Stone, right.
Steel or stone, it'll bounce off either way.
Either way, you're not going to catch the ball. But I think he's out to prove a lot of people wrong today, and he's off to a great start. And you see Coach Reed down there preaching to his players to stay on top of it, stay on top of it. It's not over. It's a great start. We're up 13-0 early in the game, but this is a 60-minute football game. Let's not rest on what we've done so far.
Godfrey will kick off again. Jarrell Stewart on his own goal line for Florida A&M. They kick away from Stewart, and the ball will go out of bounds. That's not what you want to do if you're Godfrey, but you don't want to kick it to a speedster like Stewart either.
No, you don't. But giving them the ball at the 35-yard line is not a good ideal either. I guess you lose either way, but they've been playing so good so far in the game. I don't think they're worried about it too much.
Free kick out of bounds. 5-yard penalty. The ball will be re-kicked.
And both coaches, Joe Taylor trying to inform the officials on some extracurricular activity going on the field, and you saw Rod Reed trying to give his player Antonio Hoffer a little bit words of encouragement to let him know, play hard, but don't play stupid.
Yeah, you don't want any stupid penalties in a game of this magnitude. Everybody wants to win. You see Joe Taylor here a little more animated than he was yesterday at the press conference.
Now, a little different. Rather than taking the ball at the 35 or 45-yard line, they're going to force Tennessee State to re-kick. Interesting game plan coming from Joe Taylor at Florida A&M. He wants Jarrell Stewart to run this ball back.
He really does. And that's the name of the game. You always want to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers any way you can. And now he's getting the ball another extra 10 yards, to run with. They're going to have great field position regardless of what happens here.
Remember that Florida A&M had an All-American in Leroy Van who had a number of punt and kickoff returns. He had an opportunity to play with the San Francisco 49ers, made it to their last cut. But let's see if Godfrey can put his foot in and kick it deep. Gets a nice kick. Stewart at his own 6. Breaks through one tackle, but is brought down at about the 37-yard line. Good tackle made by Jamal Coleman. 31 yards on the return by Stewart.
Stewart doing a great job of getting behind his blockers in that wall and getting positive yardage, just running full speed ahead, getting behind his pads.
And you see the last possession for the Rattlers, 3 plays, -2 yards. Only positive thing is they did hold on to the ball long enough to keep it away from Tennessee State for a little while. Levante. Change at running back. Levante Page in as the only back in the backfield. They give to Page, and he is hit immediately by Bathers. Let's go down to Ryan Cameron with an update. Ryan?
Well, I got an update. The new season of Real Housewives of Atlanta is about to happen, and Candy Burris is ready to get back into reality TV. Now, are we ready for a lot of drama for season 3?
This year, you're going to have a mixture of drama, laughter, everything. On October 4th, that's the air date, our first new episodes.
Now, you came out and you did the national anthem. How did it feel to be in front of all these people tonight?
Every time I sing the national anthem, I get nervous, no matter how many times I sing it. I just get nervous, but it was good. It was good.
Now, I know you were discovered and signed to a record deal at the age of 16, so you never got a chance to have the college experience because you were doing the record thing. But if you had to have chosen an HBCU, where do you think you might have ended up?
Well, I always wanted to go to Spelman when I was a kid. You know, Atlanta, being raised here in Atlanta, you know how everybody knows Spelman, so that's why I really wanted to go.
And you got a new album coming out November 23rd?
Yes, and it is so hot. It's so hot. I just can't wait for the world to hear it. And I'm going on tour November 4th with Fantasia, so you'll get to hear a taste of it when you go to the show.
All right, there you go. Candy Coated, November 23rd. Candy Burris, October 4th, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Hopefully you can get us some tickets for her concert that's coming up.
I have a confession to make. I have not missed one episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. There, I said it.
Oh, my goodness.
Not
All
one.
right, Okai is trying to elude one, but he is brought down. Great open field tackle made by Rico Council.
The All-American and All-Ohio Valley Conference player doing a great job, just not letting him get outside the pocket. We know how well he does beating guys outside, just grabbing a handful of jersey and not letting go. Got to be careful about the horse collar tackle. A little close on that one, a little close, but a great job nonetheless.
Holdren and a new punt returner in Justin Mallory. He may be small, but he is cat quick. He eludes one tackler, helmets fly, and Mallory goes down, but not before he has a pretty nice return out to about the 9-yard line. When we come back, we'll see if Tennessee State can add on to their 13-0 lead at the Atlanta Football Classic.
Welcome to our McDonald's.
Yours? Really?
It's been our dream since we were kids.
Oh, that long, huh?
Why not? McDonald's really supports entrepreneurs. They spent over $5 billion with businesses in communities like ours.
So you two really know your stuff.
We've done our homework.
Time for breakfast.
Not in front of the customers. I just had the most amazing dream. Me too.
Opportunities inspiring big dreams. McDonald's.
Our mission to provide support and improve the lives of African Americans, especially those of children throughout the Atlanta community. Our focus, education, enrichment, empowerment. Our team, the 100 Black Men of Atlanta, proud presenters of today's Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic.
Hi, I'm Mel Kiper Jr. Have you dreamed of a career in professional sports? Sports Management Worldwide is an online career training school offering diverse sports career training programs to launch or advance your career in professional sports. Contact us today for a free consultation on which career is right for you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lynn Lashbreath, President of Sports Management Worldwide. We'll help you with the skills and strategies necessary for a career in sports.
Visit sportsmanagementworldwide.com or call 877-SMWW now.
Show your spirit with skinit.com. We've got your school, your team, your style. Pick your favorite skin or create your own. Or choose from sports, entertainment, fashion, and more. Go to skinit.com today.
Welcome back to live action here in the Georgia Dome for the Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic. Jeremy Perry has led the way along with running back Preston Brown. They have put 13 points on a very vaunted Florida A&M defense. The last drive, 7 plays, 44 yards to Joseph Hill. And this is their third drive of the first quarter. Give to Brown, and he is smacked down quickly. Good open field tackle made by John Ojo.
John Ojo just comes firing through the line of scrimmage and gets a square hit on Preston Brown. The first time this whole game that we've seen FAMU make a play in Tennessee State's backfield.
State is trying to move at a quicker pace. Perry to pass, finds Pryor. Pryor is wrapped up quickly by Curtis Holcomb.
Holcomb playing about 8 or 9 yards off of Pryor that snap. You know, a lot of times quarterbacks and wide receivers will have a signal that most teams or other coaches can't identify with, and they'll get the ball. There'll be a play called in the huddle, and then it's an audible that's seemingly that nobody sees.
A rare opportunity so far in this game, a third, and we'll call it 6 for Tennessee State, because other than this third down play, their offense has been clicking on all cylinders. Perry getting some pressure, finds a receiver in Hills. Hills has enough for the first down out to midfield, and he's trying to fight for a little bit more, but stonewalled. But first down for the Tigers.
You know, real simple. Just finding an open space right there. A crossing route, you get the receiver in front of him to create some space. Find an open spot, get the ball, get the first down.
It seems as though they are picking on John Ojo. Wherever he is, that's where the ball is. First down at midfield. Brown has some room to run. Out to about the 40-yard line. Ojo again on the tackle. He seems as though he's the only person making plays for Florida A&M so far.
He really is, and that's not a good thing when he's playing in the secondary. But once again, Tennessee State doing a great job, offensive line. Up front blocking. Preston Brown, this is a different Preston Brown than we've seen a year ago. He's making one cut, and he's hitting the hole full speed ahead.
Second and short for the Tigers of Tennessee State. And now he is met in the backfield. Huge play by Anthony Shutt, and he shut the door on Preston Brown.
Shutt was in the backfield fast enough to almost take the handoff out of Jeremy Perry's hands, but it's just a blitz right off the corner. And nobody saw him coming. He just came in scot-free. Nobody picked him up.
And how rare is that for Anthony Shutt? Only his 5th tackle of the season, and he's a starter.
FAMU overloaded that right side of the offensive line. Great job with the coaches.
Once again, a third and long for Tennessee State. Perry getting some pressure. He eludes one tackler, throws the ball away. No in the grass rule. Good pursuit by Patrick Scott. But Perry with a smart decision to get out of the pocket and throw it away.
Very smart decision not to lose any yards on that play. FAMU's defensive line doing a great job of getting pressure right up the front, getting in the backfield before he had time to set his feet and make a throw.
Taylor Cisneros to punt for Tennessee State, and back deep for Florida A&M, Antonio Lawrence. His longest punt return so far this season, 15 yards, but there is a flag on the play.
30-second timeout.
And since we have a timeout on the field, let's go down to Ryan Cameron, who has another star that's roaming the sidelines, right?
Well, this guy's really behind the scenes now. He is somewhat of a celebrity because he is a alumni member of Florida A&M. And Will Packer, of course, had the #1 movie at the box office with Takers with your production company, Rainforest Films. Talk about Takers being #1 and what that meant for your company.
You know what? It was amazing. That was actually our 3rd #1 release. And a lot of people have been in the movie business for a while and don't have one #1. So for us, an Atlanta-based production company, to have a #1 movie, it was an action movie, which is a genre we hadn't done before. It was huge. It was tremendous. We got a lot of support. A lot of people weren't expecting us to do that well, but I always believed. You know, I had that Rattler spirit in me, man.
I want to talk about that Rattler spirit because you did the coin toss, Will. FAMU has dominated this game year after year. This year, they're calling it the Will Packer curse. You want to talk about that?
Let me tell you, the next statement I'm going to make is how you know I'm trying to save face. Just wait till halftime. Just wait till halftime. That's when we going to get them.
Stomp the Yard 2 is on DVD right now. Talk about that movie. A lot of people love the first one. Why is it on DVD?
You know what? It was, first of all, it celebrated HBCUs and fraternity and sorority, so I'm really proud of that, especially as a FAMU alumni member and a part of this game, which is all about celebration of those schools. It went to DVD because it's a smaller movie, smaller release. So the first one did really, really well, and the second one is sold out almost everywhere. So not too late to go get it, but you might have to wait in line. So that's Stomp the Yard Homecoming.
Stomp the Yard 2, Rainforest Films. Will Packer, back up to you guys. The curse, is it still going on?
Well, I think he may have lifted the curse a little bit. Punt returner Lawrence is run into by Wilson Robinson, one of the linebackers, also special teamer. He's a freshman. And Dorsey, do you call that a freshman mistake?
I would think so. I don't think you'll see that happen again for the rest of his career, but just, you know, the magnitude of the game in the Georgia Dome, you get excited, you want to go down there and make a big play, you run into the guy by mistake.
38-yard punt, and with the penalty, they move him up 15 yards to about the 29-yard line. Eddie Rocker in at running back. They do have a fullback moving in motion. Opie eludes one tackler, has some room to run, but is quickly wrapped up and brought down. Good tackle made by Rico Council. And it seems as though Opie, he has happy feet at times exactly when he needs it, Dorsey.
Yeah, at the perfect time. When somebody's breathing down your neck, is a good time to high step, try to find a way out of there. Hats off to the Tennessee State secondary. Much maligned coming into this game. We talked in the opening about Eugene Clifford getting those guys together, trying to play better. So far, so good.
Second down, call it 6 for the first. Opie has not had a lot of time to throw the football. Getting some more pressure. And he is wrapped up quickly. This time, Wilson Robinson does the right thing by running into a Florida A&M offensive player.
Big play by the freshman, making amends for the freshman mistake on the punt return. But just a great job of Tennessee State getting pressure. Opie has no time at all back there to sit back and try to find his guys. And once again, that's coverage. I mean, it's not a lot of time to throw the ball, but the guys in the secondary have those wide receivers from FAMU blanketed.
What was also amazing, you look at Robinson, he's 6'3", 215. He beat a 6'8", 315-pound senior in Chris Sands. He went up against a mountain and he climbed it.
Quickness always beats the big guys up in the front.
Third and long. Opie starts a screen. Eddie Rocker is rocked once again on the play. Wilson Robinson.
Somebody said something to Wilson Robinson, or something clicked inside where he wants to make up for that mistake, and he's done an outstanding job the last 2 plays of putting pressure on this FAMU offense.
And you see Coach Rod Reed giving positive reinforcement to the young man, letting him know he's doing the right thing. Holdren with the punt. Mallory back deep. Gets it at his own 38. He eludes one tackler, has a little bit more room to run, and gets out to about the 47-yard line. Now, Rod Reed is an alumnus of the school, and we talked to him earlier about how important it is to get a win over their rival, Florida A&M.
it's big for the alumni, and I understand that. I know that we're hungry for a TSU victory here in this Classic. We haven't won it in the last 8 years, and I've been a part of a couple of those that's gone right down to the wire. Back to 2003 when you block a field goal and they run it back 90 yards to win the football game. So they've had that rabbit foot in their pocket for a while right now, so we got to take it tomorrow.
And it seems as though Rod Reed did pick the pocket of Joe Taylor during the pregame and took that rabbit's foot, Dorsey.
He really did. Guys off to us a great start. You know, we talked about the demeanor of both coaches at the press conference yesterday. You can see the pressure on Coach Rod Reed's face trying to get his team prepared to win this game, losing 8 straight games to FAMU. Joe Taylor, calm, cool, collected, didn't seem like he didn't have a care in the world. I think that may change.
Marcus Snow being helped off the field. The redshirt junior from Homestead, Florida, South Dade High School. He is a reserve defensive back, but they're really going to need him in that backfield if Florida A&M can ever get their offense started. So far for Tennessee State, 5 first downs as opposed to none for Florida A&M. Dante Thomas, your running back, in and spelling Preston Brown. And Dante Inferno, he is on fire. Down to the 9-yard line. First down, Tennessee State. But there is a flag. And it is holding against Tennessee State. That's the preliminary call.
Holding. Offense. Number 83. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay. First down.
That's Jeremy Pryor split in on the outside. Got too much of the defender, but once again, a great job by the offensive line blocking. They get through that first wave of defenders, and there's absolutely nobody there from FAMU to try to stop that run.
And let's take another look at this. Dante Thomas, his first carry of the afternoon, and he is on fire.
Great lead block by the fullback. Once again, 30, 40 yards downfield before he's even touched.
And because the penalty happened while that play was going on, they did get enough for the first down, but they had to move it back at the point of the infraction. Give to Dante again. Thomas gains about 2 or 3, and he is quickly wrapped up.
Tennessee State comes back to the same play, off tackle to the left side. Not as much success this time, but a solid first down run, making second down more manageable with only 6 yards to go.
Hollins head in on the tackle, the young man, a junior from Cocoa Beach, Florida. Part of that 3-4 front that now is ever changing into a 4-3. Perry getting some pressure. Eludes one tackler, but is wrapped up and brought down. Big play by Alvis Graham. That's the linebacker we talked about in pregame, the junior from Orlando, Florida.
We talked about finding him because wherever he was going to be, the ball is not far behind. Great job of shedding the block of the right tackle Ridgeway and bringing down the quarterback.
And we've come to the end of the first quarter, and Florida A&M ends on a positive note, but they started off with a disastrous start. And when we come back, we will see if Tennessee State can continue their winning ways as they lead 13-0. You're watching the Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic on Versus.
Our customers.
Welcome back to live action here at the Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic. The first quarter was dominated by the Tigers of Tennessee State. Second play from scrimmage, a 71-yard touchdown run by Preston Brown. Then a 15-yard touchdown pass to make it 13-0. And now we have a third and extreme long for Jeremy Perry and the Tigers of Tennessee State. And we're ready to go to start the second quarter. 4 wide receivers set. They give to Dante Thomas. A flag is thrown, and he's close to the original line of scrimmage.
Looks like it's going to be a holding call. Very interesting play call on 3rd and over 20 yards.
Drop block on the offense. Number 60 and number 73. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
And that was Sherman Carter, the center. Who led the way on that chop block infraction. No doubt a punting situation. Kadeem Edwards also led on that infraction. Taylor Cisneros to kick to Antonio Lawrence. And he tries to kick away from Lawrence, and it goes out of bounds. Wonderful kick by Taylor Cisneros down to about the 5-yard line. Let's give you a recap of what happened in a great first quarter for Tennessee State. The second offensive play, and Preston Brown Dorsey is gone.
He's gone. Great job blocking by the offensive line. Great speed shown by Preston Brown right there.
And then Justin Mallory, Ryan Berry, the return team for Tennessee State. Great. Berry with a long return, and then Jeremy Perry finds Joe Hills, the corner of the end zone, for a touchdown. First quarter dominated Dorsey by Tennessee State, and you see negative yardage for Florida A&M.
Tennessee State dominating every category.
Opie throwing close to his own end zone, almost intercepted. Great play by Bathurst. Once again, looking at the stats, Dorsey, time of possession, everything in favor of Tennessee State. Florida A&M seems though they couldn't get started.
No, they really couldn't. Only -8 yards rushing, 3 yards passing. But here's the key stat right there. 114 rushing yards for Tennessee State. Just coming out, running the ball straight down their throat, establishing their dominance in the interior of the football field.
Rod Reed's defense wants to make a stand so they can give the ball back to their offense. Opie gives to the running back Levante Page.
Nothing going on the left side of the offensive line for FAMU. 3 Tennessee State defenders led by Wallace.
Lamar Wallace, 6'3", 254-pound junior. He's already had 1 sack on the season.
Coming into this game, we talked about maybe FAMU overlooking Tennessee State, looking ahead to South Carolina State next week. A big rivalry for those guys. We have a game on our hands here.
Joe Taylor said that he wanted his team to take it 1 game at a time, but when you dominate a team like Tennessee State for 8 straight years, that may be difficult. 3rd and long for Martin Opie, and there is a flag on the play.
Delay game. Offense, number 16. Half the distance to the goal. Still 3rd down.
And that pushes them back even further. And for the first time, we've seen Joe Taylor now looking somewhat flustered.
He has. He has. You know, we're used to seeing him cool, calm, and collected. But that's usually when the game is in their favor and they're winning the football game.
But he still looks cool, calm, and collected.
But not as much as he has in the past.
Opie finds a receiver, enough for the first down. Great play by Antonio Lawrence. 18 yards on that pass play. Gets him out of a hole, Dorsey.
FAMU's first really big positive offensive play. Great job on the throw and the catch on a deep cross.
And this is one thing Rod Reed, the head coach for Tennessee State, has been talking about. They've had teams on the hook and let them off the hook. And that's one of those plays. Give to Page, and Page goes nowhere fast. Stopped by a host of Tennessee State Tigers. Leading the way, Lamar Wallace.
FAMU shifts about 6 guys to the strong side of the formation and tries to run a power run off tackle to that side, but the Tennessee State defense not giving up anything.
Second down and long for the Rattlers. We have yet to see their star running back, Philip Sylvester, who is nursing an ankle injury. Eddie Rocker, along with Opie. Opie has some room to run, playing the role of running back since they really can't get anything started on the ground, but he gains maybe 1 or 2 yards.
Shotgun here, you fake the dive out of the pistol, try to roll out right, move the pocket a little bit. Broxley flushes him out of the pocket. Gains a few on the play.
3rd down. Call it 4 for a first down. So far, Florida A&M has been unsuccessful in 3rd down situations, and a flag is thrown.
Number 80 of the offense. Lined up in the neutral zone, 5 yards. Still 3rd down.
That pushes them back 5, so all the running that Martin Opie did, it really for naught, simply because a senior, Isaac West, lined up in the neutral zone.
You know, a lot of times when the guys are out there, if you point to the official, they'll tell you if you're on the line of scrimmage. Now he's doing it, but I guess last time he didn't get it done.
4 wide receiver set for Fam. Opie with time. They keep a spy out on him, and Rico Council pushes him out of bounds. Now, Dorsey, do you think that he's getting a little scared back there and trying to run rather than waiting for the patterns to develop?
You know, I think in a situation like that where it's 3rd and long, you have to get the first down. You have to go past the sticks, obviously, which is 10, 12 yards down the field. So it's going to take some time for that to develop. And that pocket collapses too fast for him to get comfortable, set his feet, find the receiver. But like we talked about earlier, Eugene Clifford got those guys in the secondary ready. They're blanketing those wide receivers, and the defensive line doing a great job getting pressure.
Mallory will take it at his own 25. He's going to try to outrun Florida A&M. He eludes 1. He has some room. He eludes another in Florida A&M territory. First down for Tennessee State. Julian Mallory on the run. Alfonso Walker with a touchdown-saving tackle. No flags on the play, and Tennessee State is trying to make an upset here at the Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic.
Edward, are you pumped about the new Silver Bullet Pint?
I'm excited.
I'm excited that it has a wide mouth.
You better be excited.
I'm happy that it's cold activated.
Why shouldn't you be?
Coach, I took a poll. This side of the room is happy. This side of the room is excited.
They better be happy. They better be excited.
Have you seen our pie chart?
The new Silver Bullet aluminum pint from Coors Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Coach, finish this sentence. Coors Light is the world's most refreshing beer.
Period.
Well played.
I'm a Wrangler guy. Always have been, always will be. I was wearing Wranglers long before I went pro, and I've stuck with them ever since. They just fit the way jeans should fit. Relaxed and comfortable. That's my Wrangler story. What's yours?
Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans.
I gotta say, nothing beats Wrangler comfort.
For long-lasting comfort, the right choice is Wrangler.
Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans.
At Polaris, we designed a trail-dominating legend, the Sportsman XP, to lead a new team of smooth-riding trail runners. We made a versatile, powerful, mid-size Ranger, launching a new group of value-minded workhorses. And we made the ultimate hunting vehicle, the Ranger XP, even better, heading up a new team of hard-working hunting machines. From a #1 maker of ATVs and side-by-sides, Polaris, hardest working, smoothest riding.
It's been a full weekend of events here in Atlanta, including a glimpse into the future. Hundreds of area kids took part in the Atlanta Football Classic Robotics Showcase, a festival of circuits and gear.
Georgia Power is involved in this event because we have a core belief in education. Education is vital to our economic development and vitality. It can spark the interest of an individual and allow them to further and deepen their education experience.
Just don't make the robots angry. Julian Mallory, it seems as though he's come out of nowhere. Number 13, he may be the smallest person on the team at 5'6", 137 pounds. The West Alabama transfer is cat quick and lightning fast, and so far he has saved the day for Tennessee State in the return game, a 39-yard punt return. And this is a young man whose jersey is a point of conversation. We'll get to that a little bit later. 1st and 10. Preston Brown in at the backfield. He has room to run and more, close to a first down. Let's take a look at that punt return by Mallory.
You know, just real patient with it. Catches on the left sideline, breaks a tackle. Nice move right there to stop. Let the guy pass by, let his blockers come by, get some help, and now he's just speed down the field. Nice cut in between to make two guys miss.
And 13 is a lucky number for Tennessee State because somebody else had to wear his jersey a couple of weeks ago. We'll tell you about it after this play. Brown breaks the line of scrimmage, gets close to the first down marker. Now, Preston Brown wears number 38, but a couple of weeks ago at the Southern Heritage Classic, his jersey was completely ripped up, and they had to go into the locker room and find a jersey. Well, Julian Mallory didn't make the trip, so they put his jersey on Preston Brown and didn't tell anybody. So for about a half, everybody thought Julian Mallory was the best running back in the game. You see Preston Brown with 112 yards rushing on 10 carries. In the Southern Heritage Classic, he had over 200 yards rushing, and most of those yards wearing Julian Mallory's number. Brown has room to run. First down and more inside the 20. And here's the play where you see Preston Brown making a play on the reception, and his jersey gets ripped. You know you can't play with a 3 and a sliced 8, so then he wears Julian Mallory, and everybody thinks, wow, Mallory. So it's obviously the number, not the man.
Right.
Or is it a little bit of both?
Well, if you look closely, you say, you know, Mallory's gained 50 pounds since halftime.
And he likes to tell everybody he weighs 136.
I asked him personally because I thought it was a misprint.
Perry with time to throw. Intended for Joe Hills, but incomplete.
On that particular play, Perry locked in on Joseph Hill on the crossing route in the end zone. But he had another receiver wide open. We talked about in the open how Hills is his favorite receiver. And you can count on him 9 out of 10 times to make that pass, but sometimes you have to go through your progressions and find the open man.
2nd and long in the red zone for Tennessee State. Perry finds Calvin McNarl, but he goes nowhere fast. Good open field tackle made by Marvin Ross.
Just a quick out route by Calvin McNarl, who was a quarterback last year and the most valuable player for Tennessee State. Moved the wide receiver this year. He's the guy they had open to play before in the end zone for the touchdown. They come to him this time, but not as much success.
Key play here in the red zone. Tennessee State has been pretty much 100%. 3rd and long. Incomplete. Ball thrown a little low, intended for Jeremy Pryor.
Pryor was wide open about a yard past the first down marker. Perry just didn't get enough into it. Comes up short. Left-handed quarterback, you want to roll to your left, give him the best opportunity to succeed, but at some point you might want to slow your feet down when your guy's wide open. Relax, plant your feet, throw the football.
Godfrey for the field goal, 33-yard attempt. This would be the longest of his career. He's just a freshman. Kick is up and good. History happens here, and for Jamin Godfrey, the longest field goal of his career, 33 yards, and it's good. And they extend their lead as you're watching the Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic.
Bravo, Charlie, initiate launch sequence. Wide mouth is in position for resealable cap. Cap in place and lock. Commence final cooling. T-minus 34 degrees. Mountains are blue. New silver bullet aluminum pint. You are clear for launch. Houston, we have refreshment. Introducing the new silver bullet aluminum pint from Coors Light. The world's most refreshing beer.
Ask me.
Even if you think your mattress is just fine,
Ask me what it's like to get your best night's sleep every night.
why not talk to someone who's sleeping on the most highly recommended?
Welcome back to the Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic, and fans of Florida A&M who thought that this would be the 9th consecutive win in a row over Tennessee State. Well, you're in for a surprise, because so far the Big Uglies up front for Tennessee State have pushed the Rattlers around like they can't hold on to their slither.
Very impressive first half by the Tennessee State Tigers. Can't say much about how much Rob Reed has done for this young program coming into this game 1-2. He's been saying the whole time that the record is not indicative of how good this football team is.
You see the scoring drive, 7 plays, 20 yards, 33-yard field goal by Jamin Godfrey. Jarrell Stewart takes it at his own 10-yard line. Has some room and is brought down at about the 26-yard line. When we come back, we'll see if Florida A&M can get some points on the board. One of the many events this weekend surrounding the Atlanta Football Classic was the Financial Fitness Fair.
We have passions at Bank of America both about sports and education, so we get to participate in both ends in this event this weekend.
The fair used games to help teach youngsters about such complex topics as credit, savings, home loans, and money management. Important themes to all of us.
It's Ram truck season, and the 60-day handshake lives on.
You will not want to miss the McDonald's halftime show that is coming up. It will feature the marching bands from both schools, and here's a little something from last year. And there'll also be a special guest helping out. Ronald McDonald will be here, and you don't want to miss that. 16-0 is your score. James Verrett along with Dorsey Levens. And it seems as though Florida A&M offensively, Dorsey, has been unable to find their rhythm.
They have not found the rhythm thus far in this football game. A couple of big plays would change that, but Tennessee State's defense doing a great job stepping up to the challenge here this afternoon.
Martin Opie has to find a way to lead his team out of this hole. Give to Eddie Rocker. Rocker is met quickly, stonewalled by Dante Nichols, the transfer from South Carolina. And fans, it's time to vote for your favorite band, brought to you by AT&T. Will it be the famous Marching 100 of Florida A&M or the aristocrat of bands of Tennessee State? Text the word band to 26789 to vote now. Brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. And you see the Florida A&M band. They are very stoic because they're used to celebrating a rout in this building. But right now, they're being routed. Second and long. Opie. Let's go down to Ryan Cameron, who has another interesting guest. Ryan?
Hey, thanks a lot, James. You know, Jerry Thomas is the president of Bank of America, Georgia. And, Jerry, I got to say to you that a lot of people in corporate America have scaled back on supporting these type of events. But you guys have been here for 7 years strong. Why do you continue to support this classic?
Because we think it's important. What it stands for is support of project success, and the work that the 100 do with these students is not something that we're going to walk away from.
Now, as an Atlanta native, when you look out your window and see 60,000 people come to this town to support this cause, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel really good, especially as the president of Bank of America, because they leave $30 million here in our community. So it makes me feel really good.
Okay, I got to ask you one tough question, though. Your daughter went to FAMU. Your goddaughter went to TSU. Who are you rooting for today? Because TSU is showing up.
They aren't showing it up, and I'm so glad to see them after 9 years. I just want the best team to win.
Very politically correct, Jerry. That's why you have the title. Back up to you guys.
She's a banker. She's supposed to be politically correct. Rod Reed's defense has been stonewallish. Holdren with the punt. Mallory will take it on a surprise move. He eludes one tackler, but is brought down at about the 36-yard line by Alfonso Walker. When we come back, we'll see if Tennessee State can add on to their 16-point lead. You're watching the Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic.
TV star. Come on, son. You'll never be like your dad.
Gentle knockout, there will no longer be doubt. He hears the move, but he won't stop till his name is what they shout. Great expectations.
Convert the non-believers with the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. AT&T. Rethink possible. The new BlackBerry Torch with a slide-out keyboard for $199.99. Only from AT&T.
It's the Fusion Pro Glide Challenge. Woo! Hey, man, how you doing? How's your shave?
Kind of like tugging and pulling.
See how shaving can cause irritating tug and pull?
That's why Gillette's introducing the revolutionary new Fusion Pro Glide.
It glides, like literally.
Now Fusion Pro Glide has been engineered with Gillette's thinnest blades ever, so it glides for less tug and pull. Turns shaving into gliding and skeptics into believers. New Fusion Pro Glide. And warm up before you shave for incredible comfort with new Pro Series Thermal Scrub.
Every day you check the weather, check the time, check the news online, check the wife, check the kids, check your email messages, check the money in the bank, check the gas in the tank, check the flavor from your shirt, make sure your fits don't stink. Check the new hairdo, check the mic 1, 2, cause I'm about to drop some knowledge right on top of you. You check a lot of things already, wanna add one more that can help your situation for sure. Check your credit score.
Food. Gotta love those chicken wings, Dorsey. I like mine a little barbecue a little bit, but fried doesn't. Not mine.
I like mine hot and spicy. It makes you sweat when you eat them.
Ah, okay. I like that. 1st and 10 for Tennessee State with a 16-point lead. Harry dropping back to pass, has some time, will run, gets beyond the line of scrimmage, brought down at about the 40-yard line.
Quick drop back for the quarterback. Nice job by FAMU's defensive backs. Covering the receivers, pulls it down. Nice gain of 5 yards.
Jeremy Perry has been a good manager of the game today. He's thrown a touchdown pass, but mostly he's been handing it off. He gives to Preston Brown, breaks the line of scrimmage. Another shoestring tackle. This was made by Keir Hall, but if he didn't make that one, I think Brown could have been off to the races.
Yeah, John Williams had a beeline on him right there at the line of scrimmage. Preston Brown doing a great job of spinning and not even breaking stride.
He has 112 yards on the ground. That carry, 12 yards. He had one negative carry so far in the game. Everything else has been positive. 1st and 10 in Florida A&M territory for Tennessee State. Brown gets it again, breaks the line of scrimmage, and gets down to about the 44-yard line.
We talked about earlier, FAMU strictly in a 4-3 when Tennessee State lines up in a run look. Even brought a safety down to have 8 men in the box. Tennessee State still gets 4 yards on 1st down.
Brown now 13 carries, 137 yards. Good job by Perry. Seems as though he drew Florida A&M off sides. Let's see what the official call is.
Offsides. Defense, number 95. Contract, 5 yards. Still 2nd down.
Got him with the old horror count. A little head bob. Defense falls for it.
Preston Brown, 137 yards, and we've yet to make it to halftime. Brown Runs into his own man. He eludes one tackler, gets down to about the 31-yard line. Keir Hall on the tackle.
Awesome job by the freshman fullback, John Williams, coming through there in a nice block on the linebacker, creating some room for Preston Brown. As a whole, this offense, very physical, playing on the other side of the football this afternoon. Fullback doing a great job. Offensive line doing a great job. Preston Brown reading the holes.
Perry gives to Brown again. Shifty gets down to about the 25-yard line. Nicholas Hollinshead on the tackle. So, Dorsey, what's been making Preston Brown's run so easy through the Florida A&M defense?
Well, it all starts up front with the offensive line. You see him right there blocking people, pushing them down, but him running the ball, especially when he gets contact, moving his feet, pushing the power forward, or either spinning off. He's doing a great job. All the offseason work he's done in the film room and training has really paid off for Preston Brown.
Brown again on the carry. Flag is thrown. He is stonewalled, but right at the first down marker at about the 17-yard line. And it'll go against Tennessee State. Rod Reed.
Illegal formation on the offense. 5 yards from the previous spot. Replay, second down.
Rod Reed not happy with that one. He really wants that one back.
James, what Tennessee State is doing to FAMU is probably one of the most demoralizing things you can do to a defense. Line up in the same formation, tight end on the strong side, and keep running the ball in the same spot, because what you're basically saying to the other team is that you can't stop me. We're bigger, we're stronger, we have more willpower than you. What are you going to do about it?
It's like vanilla and vanilla bean. Keep it simple, but strong.
Exactly.
Second and long for Tennessee State. You look at the numbers, 151 yards, 1 touchdown for Preston Brown. Perry with time. Eludes one tackler, but is eventually brought down. Marquez Ramos in on the tackle along with Nicholas Hollinshead. But Dorsey, at this point, why do you want to throw the ball when you have a running back that's close to getting 200 yards before halftime?
Just to give your running back a rest. That's the only reason why you want to keep him in the game, and you don't want to take him out. I mean, you could substitute him and put his backup in, Dante Davis, but this guy's hot right now. You want to keep him in the game. Jeremy Perry has to do a better job of letting go of that football. You have to anticipate where your receiver's going to be. You can't wait for him to come out of his cup before you let the ball go.
Perry with a 4 wide receiver set, almost intercepted, and a flag is thrown. It may be roughing the passer. And it is roughing the passer. And you can see on the look on Joe Taylor's face, he's not happy.
Murphy's Law here in the first half of Joe Taylor.
Roughing the passer on the defense, number 7. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
That ball was completely out of his hands before Willie Farrell hit him. Good call by the official.
Young man from Tallahassee, Florida, sophomore, 6'2", 230, trying to send a message the wrong way to Jeremy Perry. Gives him a first down in the red zone. Brown gets to the line of scrimmage and may have gotten 1 or 2. Willie Farrell in on the tackle.
Willie Farrell that time doing a good job of shedding the blocker, who still had a hand on him, getting his outside arm and leg free and pulling down Preston Brown on the outside. But once again, Tennessee State lining up. Wherever the fullback offsets, that's where they're going to run the ball. Everybody in the stadium knows it. Everybody at home knows it. FAMU cannot stop them right now.
And if you think that this is a career afternoon for Preston Brown, he's already had a 200-yard day against Jackson State 2 weeks ago. Brown gets to the line of scrimmage and does not get much more. Make sure you stay tuned for the McDonald's halftime show, which will include the Marching 100 of Florida A&M and the Aristocrat of Bands from Tennessee State.
FAMU catches them with a safety blitz off the left side. John Ojo doing a good job of running the play down on the opposite side.
And you can see the Marching 100 getting their piccolos ready, and some people are texting. I don't know if the band director likes that. We'll keep that between us, or until they watch the film. 3rd and long. Perry throws in the corner of the end zone for Pryor, incomplete.
James, that's the same play we saw in the first quarter going the opposite way when Perry had Pryor wide open and overthrew him. They come back to it, but this time FAMU doing a good job on defense.
And it looks like Tennessee State's going to try to kick with 1:36 left to play. Now, kicking has been sort of a roller coaster ride for Tennessee State. Up until a couple of weeks ago, they had not kicked a successful field goal in almost a year. And now freshman Jamin Godfrey on for a 32-yard field goal attempt. Kick is up and good. Timeout on the field, and Godfrey has been able to put 6 of his own on the board as it's 19-0 in favor of Tennessee State.
You ain't hip-hop. TV star. Come on, son. You never be like your dad.
Gentle knockout, there will no longer be doubt. He hears the root, but he won't stop till his name is what they shout. Great expectations.
Convert the non-believers with the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. AT&T. Rethink possible. The new BlackBerry Torch with a slide-out keyboard for $199.99. Only from AT&T.
So how you liking the taste of that Diet Mountain Dew?
It's great. Unexpected. In fact, since I've been drinking it, I went and got this. Wow.
I know what you mean. Since I tasted it, I went and got this.
The taste of Diet Mountain Dew is a powerful thing. Diet tastes better on the mountain.
How durable is Quaker State? We just tested Quaker State motor oil that had driven thousands of miles in New York City taxis. And even when it was ready to be replaced, that used Quaker State still passed the wear protection, rust protection, and viscosity retention tests for brand new oil. Extra protection when you need it most. That's Quaker State, real, durable oil. Text SAVE to 30241 and save up to $15.
Polaris is having a factory authorized clearance, which means you can get financing as low as 3.99% and up to $1,200 in rebates on vehicles like the Ranger RZR, or the Sportsman XP, or the Ranger XP. That's financing as low as 3.99% and up to $1,200 in rebates. Hey, it's all about the deal. That's all you need to know, right? All deal, no hype. The Polaris factory authorized clearance. Going on now.
Make sure you stay tuned for halftime for the McDonald's halftime show. It will feature the Marching 100 of Florida A&M and the Aristocrat of Bands from Tennessee State. This is one of the reasons why the Atlanta Football Classic is so big and so famous, because these two bands battle it out at halftime for supremacy, and the Tennessee State band thinks they're #1, and also the Florida A&M Marching 100 think that they're #1. This is brought to you by McDonald's, and you don't want to miss it. $19-0 is your score in favor of Tennessee State, and the flavor of the month has been Preston Brown. He has just been gobbling up yards, Dorsey.
Monster day for Preston, especially just the first half. We're only not even halfway through this game, and he's having a career day so far.
Antonio Lawrence back deep for Florida A&M, takes it at his own 10, runs into his own blocker, and is brought out to about the 40-yard line. Let's go down to Ryan, who has another very special guest.
That's right, guys. You know, usually when they say you have an appointment with the judge, people get nervous, but this is my favorite judge. Judge Hatchett is here. Of course, you were the grand marshal in the parade this morning. How'd that feel?
Oh, I
I was so excited. I was like a kid, Ryan. I was the Grand Marshal, and I was waving and hollering at everybody. It was wonderful. Perfect weather in Atlanta. It was a wonderful parade this morning.
Now, you spent most of your life being a community activist, and now you got a brand new book, you know, Dare to Take Charge. Talk about that.
I love this book. I absolutely love this book. This book challenges us to live on purpose. Life stories. I tell a lot of stories. I even tell some of my own personal stories in this, and I hope will touch people's souls. I really do.
Well, I got to tell you, you're touching my soul. That outfit today, wow. Glenda, the good witch, as we talked about earlier, I'm not being offensive, but wow, you look great.
I take it as a great compliment. Thank you, Ryan.
All right, guys, back up to you.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. And if I need any help, I will call on the judge. 1st and 10 for Florida A&M. They had an 18-yard pass to Kevin Elliott. Another pass almost intercepted by Geno Clifford. And it seemed as though this one was, it got a little bit out of rhythm, Dorsey.
Yeah, he did. You know, coming off the play before that where he stepped in the pocket, he had him right there just a little bit too high. Almost intercepted on the back end.
Antonio Lawrence, the intended receiver, got one hand on it, and I know Clifford wants that one back. 1 minute until halftime. Tennessee State with a 19-0 lead. Going with a 4 wide receiver set. Give to Rocker. Rocker has some room to run. And he is brought down. Good open field tackle made by Brandon Bather. 15 yards on the carry.
Nice play call by FAMU. Tennessee State expecting a pass. You line up in a pass formation, 4 wide receivers, 1 running back. Give him a draw, and Eddie Rocker's a fast running back.
They're going to stay in the 4 wide receiver set. Opie finds his tight end. Check that. Isaac West, their biggest wide receiver, 6'2", 205. Enough for a first down into the red zone. Their first opportunity inside the red zone in this game.
Opie doing a great job. Tennessee State only rushing 3, dropping 8 in coverage, doing a good job of finding an open man in the zone.
Timeout by Florida A&M. Everybody wants to...
That's a first charge timeout. 30-second timeout.
Check that. Tennessee State calls a timeout.
Rob Reed wants to get his guys under control, want to secure the momentum going into halftime. We talked about their struggles late in the game. You don't want to give FAMU too much momentum going in. They start off after the touchdown with a nice kickoff return, a couple of nice passes. You want to do everything you can. If you can, just hold them to a field goal. That'll be a moral victory for Tennessee State heading into the locker room. Although they're up 19-0, you got to be concerned about their mentality of losing games late in the game if these guys score a touchdown here.
1st and goal from the 8. Wonderful crowd here for football in the Georgia Dome at the Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic. Martin Opie looking to throw. Has a receiver in Antonio Lawrence, but high.
Had a man wide open about 2 yards short of the goal line. Tennessee State brings the full blitz. He gets the pass off in time, but just too high.
I don't know if Ed Too Tall Jones could have got that one.
I don't
Tennessee
think so.
State alone. 2nd and goal. 30 seconds left to play before halftime. Florida A&M trying to get on the board before they go into the locker room. Martin Opie looking for a receiver. Incomplete. Pass intended for Kevin Elliott.
Pass overthrown a little bit, but if it wasn't overthrown, may have been picked off in the corner. Tennessee State bringing the blitz once again, trying to put some pressure on Opie going into the halftime. You don't want to let him sit back there, get too comfortable, get his feet set, and find the open receiver.
3rd and goal. Martin Opie trying to direct this offense to its first score of the afternoon. Trailing by 19. Opie. Incomplete, but a flag is thrown. Possibly pass interference on Marquez Hall, but we'll see what the official call is.
Marquez gets on the back of Isaac West maybe a little too soon. Once again, Tennessee State bringing a full blitz. West on the hot route, hot receiver in the end zone.
Pass interference on the defense, number 21. Ball is placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
Looks like he pulled a little jersey.
Had his left hand wrapped around his waist.
Give to Page. Page is in for the score. Touchdown, Florida A&M.
Great job by FAMU of coming down. Just over a minute left in the half and scoring a touchdown, getting some momentum going into halftime. Tennessee State running away with this game early.
Two-yard touchdown run by Levante Page, an Atlanta native from Douglasville. Went to Douglas County High School. Trevor Scott on for the point after attempt. And the point after attempt is no good. Kicking game playing a big part in this afternoon's game. And Levante Page, a young man who was shot, had to get a medical red shirt to get a rod put in his forearm. Dorsey, a big play.
Big play. FAMU lines up with a tackle in the backfield, another fullback. They line up right behind them. Eugene Clifford has a chance to make the tackle, but goes for the strip instead. Levante Page holds on to it and gets in the end zone.
2-yard touchdown run. Last season after the first game, Joe Taylor tells me this man made an incredible comeback. Levante Page walking with his cousin Quintarius. Shots rang out after a home game. He and his cousin were both hit. Page didn't even know he was hit. They had to put a rod in his forearm because it shattered his bone. He had to wait all year to get back to this game, back to this moment. And Levante says he is happy to be back on positive ground because he said he didn't even know he was shot until he saw the blood.
He wasn't even sure that the pop he heard was a gunshot. He kind of put 2 and 2 together. You see blood. Wow, maybe that was a gunshot. Two people hit in a random shooting. Wild story.
But Levante Page back with Florida A&M scoring a touchdown. Make sure you stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. The McDonald's halftime show. Florida A&M's Marching 100. The Aristocrat of Bands. Tennessee State. Remember, brought to you by McDonald's. Deeply rooted in the community. And I know the Aristocrat of Bands want to put on the show, and the Marching 100 want to put on the show. Low kick. Julian Mallory on the return. And he is swamped. Tackle made by Kevin Elliott. Wide receiver, a senior, able to make a big play. Redshirt junior. As he would put it, a senior in the classroom. So now with 8 seconds left, Dorsey, if you're the offensive coordinator for Tennessee State, do you try a big play or do you try to sit on it?
I think I'll just sit on it or give Preston Brown the ball one more time, see if he can't break a long one. But the safe play, the smart play would be to take a knee.
Tennessee State goes with safety first, and the clock will strike 0 at halftime. 19-6, and you see Rod Reed. He wants to get these guys in the locker room because he knows the second half is the half in which has been their nemesis. They've been unable to hold on to leads. They've had leads in most of their games so far this season.
I would have to imagine that his halftime speech, that will be the topic of discussion to make sure that his guys are not relaxing. You're not going to rest on this 13-point lead.
And when we come back, we will have the McDonald's halftime show. You're watching the Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic on Versus.
What's up, Atlanta? You know, I got my good friend Cupid with me today, and he's going to get the party started right. Who's ready to see the hottest halftime show on the planet? Rattlers, make some noise!
Tigers, where you at?
It's the McDonald's halftime show, y'all!
It's the big blue versus the orange and green.
It's the battle of the bands. It's the march of the 100s versus the aristocrats.
David and Goliath, Ali and Frazier.
Yeah, it's the battle of the bands, and it's about to go down.
Yeah. Make sure y'all stay tuned after the bands. Y'all get y'all step on. We'll do the Mid-Cafe Shuffle.
It's the one, the only battle of the bands.
I'm loving it.
You already know. Atlanta, you already know. America's best. The President's inaugural parade in 2009. Other inaugural parades, 93 and 97. Super Bowl 39, 2005. Super Bowl 41, 2007. Super Bowl 44, this year, 2010. National treasures. When it comes to mind in this community in Atlanta, you think of Coca-Cola, Delta Airlines, Reverend Andrew Young, Martin Luther King. But now, excellence personified. Please welcome the incomparable, magnificent Florida A&M University Marching Band. This is a tribute to the legendary Dr. William P. Foster, the founder and creator of the incomparable Marching 100. Our special thanks to our president, Dr. James Ammons, the #1 supporter of the Marching 100. And now, before you is what other bands dream about. The only band that can cover the whole field. It's oh my God. maestro from 1946 to 1998. The legend for 52 years. He was a role model for the world, and every band teacher got a little Foster in them. His character was first class. The 100 remembers the man that set the standards for the world, Dr. William P. Foster. This was his favorite possession. The man that started it all, and to this day stands alone. What we're going to do right here is go back from the pen of Lindsey B. Sargent, Boys II Men, and Mariah Carey, The 100 with One Sweet Day. Our director, Dr. Julian E. White. When you think of national treasures of the African-American communities, you think of Motown. You think of Ebony Jet Magazine. You think of Harlem. And you think about that White House that's now in Washington. And added to that list, you have to know Dr. William P. Foster, the maestro, the law, the man who started it all, Hubbard. Atlanta, it's time to shake what your mama gave you. Take it down to the sexy room. Out of all the cities in the world, there's only one that everybody loves, and the 100 loves, Atlanta, the ATL. When the 100 is in the dome, you know. We are who you think we are. And it's true. Band director, Dr. Julian E. White. Dr. Shelby R. Chipman. Mr. Lindsey B. Sargent, Dr. Sheila James, Mrs. Deneen White. This concludes our halftime performance. The Marching 100 would like to thank Mr. Ed Brady, Director of MEAC.
A sip of my real fruit smoothie from McCafe.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, the Aristocrats would like to dedicate tonight's show in memory of Dr. William P. Foster. We pay homage to the legacy of Dr. Foster's foresight and dedication to the field of music and the art of marching band pageantry. It's showtime! Atlanta, are you ready for the show? Drum majors, Andrew Hendrick and Troy Landry. Aristocrats, let's take it hard in the paint. You do. Big T is in the house. T for Tennessee, S-A-T-E-U, University, T-S-U. Old school in the house, Frankie Beverly and Mays. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the world-famous Aristocrat of Bands. This band has won national and international acclaim for outstanding musical performance, innovative arrangement, and precision drill. The Aristocrats have performed before pro football teams, basketball, and hockey teams. Plus, the Aristocrats are scheduled to appear on an upcoming episode of the Extreme Home Makeover Show. Let me hear you. Send out this foul. Twitter. O-M-G. is AOB. Please welcome the sophisticated ladies. Kicking into that California girl, Katy Perry, from our ladies. Please give it up for the sophisticated ladies. And now, check out the sound. Under the direction of Associate Band Director, Dr. Reginald A. McDonald. The song, There Goes My Baby, by Usher. There goes my baby. Thank you, Prof. McDonald. If you love that old school, say yeah. Love and happiness, Al Green. Aristocrats, it's time to get hype. Let's crank it up. TSU, only do it. Kept it coming, kept it coming, kept it coming. I see you. I see you. I'm flexing. I'm balling. No hand. No hand. No hand. No hand. No hand. Aristocrats, no other band has nothing on you. Now let's remind everybody who we are. Now who are we? Who's got the best band in the land? Aristocrats, aren't you glad that you go to TTTSSSU? Tennessee State University's Aristocrat Bands is under the direction of Professor Edwin L. Graves, Associate Director of Bands, Dr.
Our customers are losing money without even knowing it. So we're saying.
Welcome back to the Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic. Tennessee State with a 19-6 halftime lead. Let's give you a taste of what happened in the first half. On the second play from scrimmage, Preston Brown goes 71 yards. For the score, point after attempt, no good, 6-0. Then Ryan Berry leaves it all on the field with a huge punt return to set up another score. He would leave the game with an ankle injury. Then Jeremy Perry would find transfer from South Carolina, Joseph Hills, for the 15-yard touchdown. Point after attempt good, 13-0 in favor of Tennessee State. They changed punt returners. Julian Mallory, only 136 pounds, but he is fast as lightning. A lucky number 13 for Tennessee State leads to a field goal. And then Levante Page, an Atlanta native, finally gets Florida A&M on the board to make it 19-6. And Ryan Cameron talked to Coach Rod Reed right before the start of the third quarter.
We're here with Coach Ron Reed of TSU. You guys jumped off to a big start. What did you say to your team at halftime to make sure that they finish this game off?
Just what you just said, finish. We got to finish. Florida A&M is an explosive football team. They have big weapons over there. We got to continue to stay solid on defense, and we got to continue to score on offense. We can't take our foot off the gas right here. We got to finish this football game.
So you guys are not going to let up. You're going to continue to try to execute the offense. Do you have any concerns right now with your team?
No, we had a couple of people go down that kind of hurt our special teams a little bit, but we got some capable backups, and those guys will go in, and they'll finish the game off for us. But we got to finish. This is a good football team we're playing.
Congratulations on a good first half, and good luck in the second half. There you go, guys. Coach Reed saying they just got to finish this thing off and not let up. Back up to you.
Thanks a lot. And you can see the Tennessee State receivers and backs trying to get themselves warmed up. Dorsey, the one thing that Coach Reed talked about was playing for a complete 60 minutes, and they haven't done that for the entire season so far.
No, they haven't. And one of the things that he harped on was that the effort was there, but the concentration level was not there. You know, a lot of times that depends on how well conditioned the team is, because once you get tired, the first thing that goes is your thought process. These guys have to find a way to put it together with the effort, the concentration. They can get a victory here this afternoon.
And you can see that these guys are still very, very focused. Not a lot of smiles, not a lot of horseplay going on, because they know in the past in the Atlanta Football Classic, Joe Taylor and the Florida A&M Rattlers have put together great second halves. James Owens back deep for Florida A&M. He is the fastest person on their team, and he's trying to show it. Gets out to about the 35-yard line. He used that 4.28 speed to try to start things on a positive thing for Florida A&M. The win streak for Florida A&M is in jeopardy right now for the last 8 years. You see right here on your board. Florida A&M win after win after win. They've only had one overtime victory in that overtime. And Dorsey, if you've been winning that long, sometimes you take the opposing team lightly.
You do, and you get a little complacent, especially with a big game coming up the following week in South Carolina State. I'm sure Joe Taylor's has some choice words for these guys at halftime to try to get them back on track and play the type of football they're capable of playing.
Martin Opie still at quarterback. Reception made by Isaac West. Quickly wrapped up by Bathers.
Nice call right out the gate. A quick rhythm play. Trying to get Opie in some type of rhythm. A quick 5-yard stop to West on the outside.
Staying with that 4 wide receiver set. Second down and about 6. Opie with time has a receiver in and out the hands of Kevin Elliott.
Great job by Opie. Pass right on the money. Hits him right on the 5. Just can't hold on to it. FAMU coming out in the no huddle. The same offense they stopped going in before halftime, before they scored a touchdown. They're going to huddle up this time with the first 2 plays. Going to go with what got you 6 points in the first half.
3rd down and 6 yards to go. First half 1 for 6 in 3rd down conversions. Opie with time throws a bullet to no one and make it 1 for 7 in 3rd down conversions for the young men from Tallahassee. And Joe Taylor is not happy at all.
Pass was intended for wide receiver Isaac West, but it was behind him and too high. You got to look back at the play before that where Kevin Elliott dropped the pass with enough yards for 1st down. It's what coaches call drive killers.
And the always cool Joe Taylor trying to get his players up. Martin Opie is the leader of the offense, but Coach Taylor has to get the leader up to speed.
Not the start FAMU wants coming out of the locker room at halftime. Great for Tennessee State.
Right after the play clock has been reset, Brandon Holdren on to punt. Julian Mallory, who's already had an impressive return, he will fair catch, and the ball will be placed at about the 25-yard line. Looking at halftime stats, all in favor of Tennessee State. And Dorsey, most of those yards for Florida A&M came on a drive near the end of the first half in which they finally got their rhythm going.
Finally did get a nice rhythm going. As you saw in the second half, they come out in the same formation, the spread formation, 4 wide receivers, 1 running back, and try to pick up where they left off, but to no avail with the drop pass by Kevin Elliott.
Tennessee State going in the eye. Jeremy Perry still at quarterback. Give to Preston Brown. He is stonewalled right at the line of scrimmage. Preston Brown had an impressive first half with over 150 yards rushing. And Dorsey, it seemed as though he was able to find those holes very quickly.
Yeah, the holes were monstrative. I mean, there's so much room to run through. It's impossible almost not to break every chance he had. But as you see on that first play, FAMU, I'm sure their center point, or that they focused at halftime on the run game of Tennessee State.
Second down and 10. Brown said he spent the summer at Tennessee State learning the offense, and he has a better grasp of it this season. Brown finds one hole, may have gained 1 or 2 yards to bring up a 3rd and long situation. And we're starting to see some pushing and shoving because Florida A&M's trying to hold on to that streak, and Tennessee State's trying to take it, Dorsey.
FAMU's coming out in a different defensive front that we've seen in the entire first half to try to stop the run. They got 5 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, 8 in the box right away without a safety or cornerback in there. Trying to make some adjustments at halftime to slow down Preston Brown and that Tennessee State offense.
3rd down and 8. TSU 3 for 7 in 3rd down conversion so far. Here with time. Throws, has a receiver. Caught. With room to run. 1st down and more. Travis James on the reception. And once again, Jeremy Perry finds a receiver right when he needs him.
What poise by Jeremy Perry, just staying there inside the pocket as the pocket starts to collapse. Surveys the field. He's looking from right to left, steps in the pocket under duress, and throws a strike 40 yards down the football field. Great job by Jeremy Perry.
And Travis James takes it the rest of the way for a 57-yard gain. They are in the red zone, 1st down and 10 from the Florida A&M 15-yard line. They're going to give to Brown. Brown breaks the line of scrimmage, may have gained 1 or 2 yards. But now there is a flag on the play. Maybe a little extracurricular activity going on there by Florida A&M. We'll see what the official call is. Alfonso Walker not happy with that call. Normally it's the 2nd guy who gets caught, Dorsey.
That's usually the way it always works. Guys have to keep their composure, especially in the heat of the game. This is a big football game, a big rivalry game. Guys want to win. Sometimes tempers flare. Got to be able to be mature enough to keep that under control.
1st and goal for TSU. Give to Brown. Breaks the line of scrimmage and gets smacked down. Good open field tackle made by Willie Farrell. Sophomore linebacker out of Tallahassee, using the body.
Nice firm hit at the point of attack. If you look at FAMU's defense, James, they got 9 in the box that time. They're going to make Jeremy Perry beat him with his arm. They're not going to let Preston Brown continue to run up and down the football field.
Second and goal, ball placed on the 4. Give to Brown, trying to go outside, but Florida A&M's defense too fast. Keir Hall in on the tackle.
Too many guys in the box for FAMU, for Tennessee State to block. I think now would be a great time for a play action pass, maybe a rollout to a tight end in the flat on the end zone.
And you see how fast the Florida A&M defense can be. 1 orange hat, 2, 3, 4 orange hats around the football.
That's one thing we haven't seen a lot. You know, Coach Taylor talked about yesterday having 11 guys to the ball. We have not seen that in the first half from FAMU.
3rd and goal. Give to Brown. Flag is thrown. He gets down to about the 1-yard line, but this may be coming back. A double whammy for Tennessee State. And Rod Reed definitely not happy about red zone mistakes by his offense. They'll replay it, and that was Anthony Woods and center Sherman Carter for Carter. That's its second chop block call of the game.
We're going to have to work on that in practice this upcoming week. You have to be aware that you cannot chop block the other player when he's engaged with another player. Moves Tennessee State almost out of the red zone after being 2 yards from the end zone.
If the play would have stood, it would have taken him down to the 1. Now it would be 3rd and goal from the 19-yard line of Florida A&M. 4 wide receivers set for State. Bullet to Wilson. Wilson gets down to about the 14-yard line. Tackle made by Jeremy Jones.
Man, you in a soft zone that time, James. Making sure everything stays in front of them. Nobody gets behind them into the end zone. Let the guys catch it in front of you and go make a tackle.
Now to bring on a field goal attempt so far for Tennessee State. 2 for 2 in field goals. That's the first time in over a year they have had 2 successful field goals. Freshman Jamin Godfrey for a 31-yard attempt. Kick is up. And no good. Huge hole for Florida A&M's defense in the red zone. When we come back, we will see if their offense can answer. Yeah. Hey. Welcome back to Atlanta, Georgia for the Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic presented by the 100 Black Men of Atlanta. 19-6 is your score in favor of Tennessee State. Martin Opie and company from Florida A&M trying to get on the board in the second half. Opie will keep it, has some room to run. Out to the outside beyond the 30, pushed out of bounds close to the 40-yard line. First down for Florida A&M. We take a look at the Sheraton Black College football poll to give you an indication of how big a game this is of a possible upset by Tennessee State. Currently, Florida A&M is ranked 2nd. Their conference rival, South Carolina State, in which they play next week, is ranked number 1. You see Grambling, Albany State, Prairie View A&M, Morehouse rounding off the top 10. This is towards the Black College National Championship, and Joe Taylor knows that next week they'll be possibly playing for the conference title, but today's game is the most important. Rod Reed looking for the huge upset to end an 8-game losing streak. Opie on first down. Finds a receiver in LaShawn Tukes, just a freshman from Jacksonville.
FAMU not having any success throughout the game running the football. Decided to spread it out here in the second half. They've had some success moving the ball outside of the drop pass last drive. They look pretty good.
And for Tennessee State, they're trying to end an 8-game losing streak to Florida A&M. Second down and about 6. Opie getting some pressure. He is wrapped up by Rico Council and Eugene Clifford. A sack by the Tigers.
Tennessee State's front 4 getting a lot of pressure on the cornerback. Also a cornerback blitz coming from the top of your screen, putting a lot of pressure on Opie.
And the third down situation is not what you want if you're Florida A&M. So far in the game, 1 for 7 in third down conversions.
Lamar Wallace and Malcolm Crawford doing a great job in the interior defensive line for Tennessee State.
Third, call at 11. Opie on a low snap. Gets slapped down. And his helmet goes flying. Great play led by Sylvester Tarver and company. And you can see Opie is not happy on that one, especially when you lose your helmet.
Call that a quarterback sandwich. But once again, pressure coming from the interior, straight up the middle. Defensive end comes off his block and crushes Opie from behind. Great job eluding the left tackle. Marcus Broxy almost hurt his knee on that. Got it bent up underneath him. He comes out okay, though.
Good catch made by Julian Mallory off the Brandon Holden run. Tennessee State's defense holds. Can their offense add to the 19-6 lead? Now it's time for the Tyson Band Jamboree featuring the Marching 100 of Florida A&M. Tyson Foods is proud to support the rich traditions of historically black colleges and universities. First down for Tennessee State. Preston Brown breaks the line of scrimmage. Gets about 3 or 4 yards on the carry. Tackle made by Anthony Shutt. Take a look at the performance of Brown so far in the game, and he has had some wonderful runs, Dorsey, starting off with this one.
He really has, and that one right there, like we talked about earlier, not a finger touched on him the whole time. Obviously, FAMU making a concerted effort this second half by stacking the box, slow down Tennessee State's running game.
2nd and 5. Give to Brown, breaks the line of scrimmage, close to a first down, but is brought down, and helmets are still flying by Florida A&M. Anthony Shutt once again on the tackle.
Tennessee State not breaking the long runs that we saw in the first half, but still very effective with the run, getting 4 or 5 yards a pop, running off that right side of the offensive line.
It's one thing to lose your helmet and you knock a person back, but when you hit Preston Brown, he always falls forward.
Always. That's the mark of a good running back, a guy who runs behind his pads and fights for extra yards every play.
3rd and short. Good open field tackle coming up. Number 36, Anthony Shutt, once again making a big play along with Alvis Graham.
Both guys doing a great job of just pursuing the football. Snapping the ball and going to the point of attack and making a play. Something we didn't see from those guys at all in the first half.
Antonio Lawrence back deep for Florida A&M. Taylor Cisneros back to punt for Tennessee State. And it takes a wobbly bounce. Lawrence picks it up, but quickly wrapped up at about the 30-yard line. When we come back, we'll see if Florida A&M can put some more points on the board as they trail Tennessee State 19-6.
How durable is Quaker State?
Welcome back to live action. Early carry made by Eddie Rocker. And it seems as though they had a flag on the play.
Holding. Offense. Number 7. 10 yards from his previous spot. Replay.
And that was holding against Florida A&M, which will push them back. Penalties is not what you want if you're a Florida A&M fan, as they trail 19-6 to Tennessee State. 7 of their 8 possessions have ended in a punt for Florida A&M. Martin Opata pass, looking for a receiver, finds Elliott. Elliott is closer to the original line of scrimmage. Let's go down to the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Ryan Cameron, who has a special guest.
Thanks a lot, James. Cynthia Harris, Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs at Florida A&M University. How important is this game to FAMU?
It's critically important. It represents so much. It represents collaboration. It represents the strength of HBCUs. It represents all that we want to have happen for the sake of our students. It is an opportunity to play and work and combine them and to make a difference.
I got to ask you about FAMU and the programs you guys have started. Is there anything on the horizon that you want to tell us about?
Oh, absolutely. And I could talk all day about that, and I'm going to think you don't want me to. Let me begin by saying we have a record enrollment this year. We reached an enrollment of 13,300 students, more than any time in history. And that's really reflecting how fast FAMU is growing and what we have to offer our students. We are engaged in research activities that will take not only our students but our faculty, and we hope the nation, to different levels of understanding of what we have to offer. We are, if you talk about what's on the horizon, we are very involved in the health of the citizens of the state of Florida. We are looking at the disparities in health in the state of Florida. We are focused on oral health as a means of affecting the health of the total body. And we look at our 13,300 students as having experiences that will help them in whatever major they're in. It might be a health field, nursing, pharmacy. It might be a business industry. But all of those are contributing to our initiatives and our goals relative to the health of the state of Florida.
Well, good luck in the second half. I know you guys are trying to struggle and get back in the game, and I know you're looking for some excitement, but guys, will be more of the Atlanta Football Classic right here at FAMU, trying to come back against TSU on Versus.
Welcome back to live action here at the Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic. First down and 10. Perry looking to throw, finds a receiver, enough for the first down. Jeremy Perry on the reception. Fans, it's time to vote for your favorite band, brought to you by AT&T. Will it be the famous Marching 100 of Florida A&M or the aristocrat of bands of Tennessee State? Text the word band to 26789 to vote now. Brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible.
Nice play call on the last play, James. Faking that dive off to the right, rolling out to the left, have three guys on the crossing pattern, wide open.
First and 10. Gift to Brown. Has some room on the outside, but Keir Hall is right there to wrap him up, and a late flag. And it all comes back due to a holding. And let's see how they got this drive going on a punt return. Huge punt return. Special teams playing big today, Dorsey.
Very big. Julian Mallory, just like we talked about earlier.
Offense, number 49. 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay. First down.
Just making big play after big play. They have 142 yards of punt returns today. And a lot of those go to Julian Mallory. Ryan Berry had the big punt return early before he was injured with an ankle. But special teams, we've overlooked it just a little bit because of Preston Brown's big day, but you cannot say enough about what they've done, returning the football and winning the battle of field position.
Congratulations to him. A school record in return yards in a game for Julian Mallory. Dante Thomas with the carry. Thomas gets back to about the 20-yard line. Willie Farrell in on the tackle, along with Joshua Newkirk.
Dante Davis coming in, giving Preston Brown a well-deserved breather. Davis, no slouch, coming into this game, averaging 10.9 yards a carry.
Perry to pass. Got a lot of pressure. Folsom in on the play to provide that pressure.
Folsom really just comes in there, unblocked the tight end. Doesn't know who he's supposed to block. Ronald Bright lets him go scot-free, tries to recover at the last minute. Just a little too late.
Tennessee State trying to get over the hump on third down conversions. 4 for 10 so far in the game. Their last two, they were unable to convert. Perry out of the shotgun with some time. Finds Wilson. He gets one hand on it, but unable to get the other hand. Ojo on the coverage for Florida A&M.
Just a simple drop back pass. A lot of time on rhythm. Just throws it a little bit too high and out of reach, but he has the guy wide open right there.
Godfrey on for a 37-yard attempt. So far 2 for 3 in field goals in the game. He has had a career day. Kick is up, and it is good. Godfrey 3 of 4 on field goals to extend the lead to 22-6 in favor of Tennessee State. Rod Reed, a Tennessee State alum. His father was the first All-American under legendary coach John Merritt in the 60s. He was able to become the head coach in December, and he wanted to change the culture by having a model that says tradition never graduates. He has brought in a lot of older alumni to speak to players, has a lot of slideshows and films teaching them about tradition. And one of the traditional things they used to do is beat Florida A&M, Dorsey.
Yeah, it's a great tradition to try to get back on top of and follow. But one of the biggest things that I think he's done is that he's hired a bunch of old football players or guys who have football experience to come and coach this football team. And you'd be amazed at how much more players respond to guys who've actually played the game than the guys who have never played the game. Not saying that those guys can't coach, but there's a different respect level when you're talking to a guy who's done it before.
And Rod Reed told us that, you know what, if we win this game, the alumni will say the season was great, even though the team wants to win more than just the Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic. But Rod Reed says the alumni, as soon as he got the job, they said, okay, you will beat Florida A&M this year, right, Coach?
He said that the alumni will be satisfied for the rest of the year if they win this game. I don't think the same holds true for Coach Rod Reed. He's going to want to win a bunch more football games, the rest of them if he can.
He's telling the players, don't lose your focus, because so far this season they have had leads, especially last week against Austin Peay, and they let it go. James Owens on the return, and he is stopped at about the 30-yard line. Marquez Hall in on the tackle. Dorsey, this is one of the speedsters for the Rattlers.
It is. This guy has blazing speed, like you said, 4.28. FAMU has 130 yards in kick return today, so they're doing a great job on their kickoff return, but still not able to win the battle of field position. A lot of penalties early on, keeps moving his team back in the 1st and 15, 1st and 20 situations. A lot of times, if you're not running the ball effectively and your passing game is not on rhythm, those penalties are hard to overcome.
Opie still in at quarterback, getting some pressure, trying to start a screen. Levante Page trying to make the catch. Will they call it a reception? Yes, they will, and he loses about a half a yard. When we come back, we will see if the fourth quarter will be the right quarter for Florida A&M as they trail 22-6 to Tennessee State.
This is
Welcome back to the Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic here in the Georgia Dome. Tennessee State with a 22-6 lead over Florida A&M. The third member of our broadcast team, Ryan Cameron, with a key sponsor to this game. Ryan?
Yeah, that's right, James. Donnie Smith, president and CEO of Tyson Foods. Tyson Foods supporting this classic for 7 years. I got to ask you, why do you guys continue to come back?
You know, Ryan, for us, the classics are about much more than just football. These HBCUs and these classics have a very rich tradition of excellence in the classroom, excellence on the field, community involvement, and we want to be a part of that.
You guys are really big in the community with hunger relief. Over 76 million pounds given back and helping to stop this problem. How is that initiative going for you, and why is it important?
Well, I tell you what, and in partnership with these HBCU Classic games here in this community on Thursday, we gave a 40,000-pound donation to the Atlanta Community Food Bank for them to use. And food banks don't get much protein, so it's very important to them. And, you know, we're a food company. And we really like it when people pay for our food, but for those who can't, we want to be there to help them too.
Any favoritism for these games today? Anybody you're pulling for?
Well, actually, back in college, I went to TSU for a semester, so I got to tell you, I got a little bit of heart for the TSU Tigers.
All right, well, they're up right now, guys. Back up to you, Donnie Smith, President and CEO of Tyson Foods, doing good in the community, and, of course, pulling a little bit for TSU.
All right, we won't say that he's partial to any team. We'll say he's impartial. Reception was made by Brian Timms from the pass from Martin Opie. Puts him in TSU territory, 1st and 10 from the Tiger 44. Opie with time, getting some pressure, and a flag is thrown, and he is thrown down to the ground. Tackle made by Brent Davis, 6'3", 309 senior.
FAMU having a hard time protecting.
Holding. Offense. Number 58. Penalty is declined. 2nd down.
Shelly Anthony on the hold. And Joe Taylor right now trying to figure out, okay, what can I do to ignite my offense to get us back into the end zone?
First, they need to find a way to protect their quarterback, Martin Opie. He's already been sacked 9 times today.
Sacked 9 times, but this game is far from over. When you look at the score, 22-6, Florida A&M can come back.
He 14-19 on the clock, please. 14-19.
Joe Taylor trying to get an explanation, trying to let the official know exactly what's going on, and the official trying to let him know what's going on. 2nd down and forever. We'll call it 20. Opie getting some pressure, and he will throw this ball away. And then a late flag, and it looks like Malcolm Crawford may be called for roughing the passer.
Malcolm Crawford bailing out FAMU. We've seen this time and time again.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer on the defense, number 93. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic 1st down.
James, time and time again, we've seen FAMU in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 20-plus yards. They had to find a way to eliminate the penalties and do a better job of protecting their quarterback.
And I know Rod Reed is not happy with that one, but he most likely feels that Crawford didn't intentionally try to knock down Martin Opie. 1st and 10, 39-yard line of Tennessee State. Opie with time. Looking for a receiver, had one. Adrian Smith, but a little bit too high for the 6'2", 175-pound redshirt senior.
You can tell Opie is not in rhythm. Being sacked 9 times will do that for you. Plenty of time to pass in the pocket. Adrian Smith looks like he's on a post route across. Just overthrows him a little bit. A lot of his passes have been sailing over his receivers' heads today. But he's been under a lot of duress, and you can't just sit back there. He hasn't been able to sit back there and get comfortable, plant his feet, throw the ball.
Opie's numbers 10 of 20 for only 95 yards. No touchdown passes. Opie out of the shotgun, 2nd and 10. And almost interception. Yes, it is an interception. It was tipped and picked up. Good play by David Van Dyke from Miami. One of those guys who got away from Florida A&M. It looked like it hit the ground. There is no instant replay in FCS football. Just to let everyone know, in FCS football, Division I AA, no replay, but you can tell here on the replay, it was close. Right in his hands.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it hit the ground. It looks like it hit the other defender's hand. He kind of scooped it up, and Johnny on the spot picks it up. INT.
And Van Dyke, a reserve defensive back, with his first interception of the day. Give to Brown. Brown breaks one tackle beyond the 50. 30, 20, one man to beat. Kier Hall with a shoestring tackle, but not before Preston Brown is in the red zone. First down for Tennessee State.
An amazing day for an amazing running back. Once again, offensive line doing a great job blocking. He's got a spin move that I've not seen in a long time from a running back, where you can spin, land on an outside foot, and keep running full speed ahead. That is a talent. That's a gift. You can't practice that and do it as well as he does it.
A 59-yard run and a spin move, just like you said, and he is off to the races, and it took Kier Hall on a great angle to make the tackle.
Preston Brown, that puts him over 200 yards rushing for the day.
Dante Thomas. Thomas close to pay dirt, but about a yard and a half short.
Running to the left side this time, where he had that nice spin last time. It's just an incredible move, and then speed in the burst. So almost outrun everybody. Kier Hall saving the touchdown.
He is hot and getting hotter. I think they'll have some NFL scouts try to figure out who is number 38. Give to Dante Thomas, and Thomas is in for the touchdown.
Staying on the left side of the offensive line. Dante Smith just following his blocking, breaking one tackle, sliding into the end zone.
Godfrey on for the point after attempt. And it is good. Timeout on the field, and we have a rout ensuing, 29-6 in favor of the Tigers. No. Welcome back to a Georgia Dome in which those who bleed orange and green are stunned, because Preston Brown and company have taken it all the way, and they are en route to an upset. Dante Thomas with the short touchdown run to make it 28-6. Point after attempt was good, but the running back tandem of Thomas and Preston Brown, 3 plays, 63 yards. It only took a minute. 3-yard touchdown run by Dante Thomas, but that young man, Preston Brown, over 225 yards rushing on 26 carries and 1 touchdown. He has had 2 long runs, and he feels like he can go a little bit more, don't you think, Dorsey?
Oh, absolutely. This game is not over by any stretch of the imagination. I would imagine Coach Rob Reed would give him a break, let Dante Davis get a little bit more run. But what a shock. Score being 29-6 here in the 4th quarter in favor of Tennessee State.
Owens on the return, and he is pushed out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. Preston Brown, his second long run of the day. The first one, the second offensive play, and this one almost a mirror image, Dorsey.
It really was. Outside of the spin move where he had to make somebody miss, it's just a great run. And as a good running back, you have to make guys miss in the open field.
This is a young man last year only had a little bit over 420 yards rushing for the entire season. So far in this game, 227 with 1 touchdown. When we talked to him earlier, he said the big difference was he stayed and went to summer school at Tennessee State and learned the offense.
He said everything slowed down for him, which is a mark of knowing that you know what's going on in front of you. You know, he says that he can read his offensive line, their blocks better, and when one hole is blocked, he knows where the next hole is going to be instinctively without even having to think about it.
And for Preston Brown, that 227 yards, the 6th most in school history. The record is 285 yards, and I think if this game was a little bit closer, he could get 285.
Absolutely. His 3rd consecutive game over 100 yards rushing. His 2nd out of 3 games over 200 yards rushing. I think it's pretty safe to say.
And Antonio Lawrence is off to the races, but he is knocked down by Eugene Clifford, but not before he gets a first down and much more, down to about the 19-yard line, 39-yard reception.
Nice throw and catch. Opie, plenty of time in the pocket to sit back there, plant his back foot, step into his throw. Great run after the catch.
Not bad for Lawrence from Lakeland, Florida. First down and 10 at the 19. Opie looking to throw deep for Elliott, and there's a flag thrown. And it looks like it'll be pass interference.
Looks like David Van Dyke got a piece of his jersey coming out of his break to the corner of the end zone.
Pass interference. Defense, number 36. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Oh, they called it on Brandon Bather. But I'm not sure if that one was the right call.
No, it looks like it was number 28, David Van Dyke, but Bather nonetheless getting a chuckle out of it.
Pass interference is a pass interference.
No matter who's it's on, it's going the other way.
There you go. First and goal for Florida A&M inside the 5-yard line of Tennessee State. Rod Reed stressing to his players to play a full 60 minutes. Gift to Page. Flag is thrown, and he goes little or nowhere.
Offsides. Defense, number 28. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat. First down.
Remember what Rod Reed said, play for 60 minutes, and right now the defense is sort of having mental lapses.
They are having, I think he's substituted a few guys. I see a lot of the starters back in there right now. You want to give some of the younger players a chance to play when the game is out of reach in the fourth quarter. But with that being said, you still want your guys playing hard throughout the entire game.
With the speed of Florida A&M, it won't take them long if you give them an opportunity to score.
Well, if it gets too close, I'm sure he'll have a mass substitution, get all the starters back in there right away.
Another flag thrown, and Levante Page is in for his second score of the afternoon.
It's like an offsides on number 36, Brandon Bather, but FAMU will decline this. Will be 6 points.
And it is a touchdown for Florida A&M to make it 29-12 with 10:44 left to play. This game is far from over, folks. Make sure you stay tuned for the Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic, because the head coach, Joe Taylor, has a knack for coming back, and Rod Reed is trying to get his team to hold on and break a 2-game losing streak so far this season. Going for 2. Opie, touch pass, flag is thrown. Intended for Kevin Elliott. Marquez Hall on the coverage. And they'll move him just a little bit closer.
Just a little fade route to the left side of the end zone, trying to get Kevin Elliott.
Pass interference. Defense, number 21. Half the distance to the goal. Replay the try.
Now, is this pass interference?
You know, initially it didn't look like it. Maybe they're calling face guarding, but it just seems like he was in the right place at the right time.
Now there's another flag. And this flag, I think, will go against Coach Reed talking to the line judge. But let's see what the official call is. And he is visibly upset.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Tennessee State. Half the distance to the goal. Still the try.
I think Coach Rob Reed told the official what he thought about that pass interference play.
You still have about 10:42 left. Give to Page, and Page is stonewalled. Rico Council and company, and you can see Coach Reed. He thinks justice is served.
I believe so. And maybe it is. But Coach Reed doing a great job of getting those guys fired up.
Timeout on the field. High drama here in the Georgia Dome. 29-12 is your score, and Rod Reed wants his team to play for a complete 60 minutes. Can they do it? Stay tuned and find out.
McDonald's.
Welcome back to the Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic. Here is the key stop by Tennessee State on the two-point conversion, and the reaction of the coach. Rod Reed, a former linebacker, former defensive coordinator. You can tell after he got the unsportsmanlike conduct flag against him that he wants his guys to play for a full 60 minutes at all costs.
Well, he's excited because he has been preaching that time and time again, and now it's finally happened. The guys are believing in him. There's nothing like for a head coach to tell his team one thing, they go out and do it, and they win the game. He'll have their trust for the rest of the season, maybe for the rest of their careers.
And for Rod Reed, this was the dream job, be able to coach at his alma mater, the place where his father played football. Even his son runs out on the field with the team in a miniature version of the Tennessee State uniform.
Great job of getting his team back on track. We talked about the disappointing 1 and 2 start to the season. You know, for a new head coach, it's easy for players to kind of lose faith in what he's doing and what he's trying to accomplish. But hat goes off to him and his coaching staff for getting these guys ready to play this football game. A game that FAMU, I'm almost sure, thought they were going to walk away with.
Mallory holds on to it. He tried to high wire the line of script, the out of bounds line, but it fell out. If you missed the halftime, you missed a lot. Here is the marching 100 of Florida A&M from the McDonald's halftime show. And back to live action, 29-12. Tennessee State deep in their own territory. Brown, who has over 227 yards, breaks the line of scrimmage and gets a little bit more out to about the 15-yard line.
A little surprised that he's still in the football game, but it's been a long time since Tennessee's won a game here.
It's been 8 years, an 8-year drought, since Tennessee State Tigers could hoist the Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic trophy. For Rod Reed, as a defensive coordinator and now head coach, he is trying to get the Rattler off of his back.
And in all fairness to him, if you want to win this game, put it away. Why not put the ball in your best ball carrier's hands and let him run the clock out?
Give once again to Brown. Breaks the line of scrimmage. Flag is thrown. He gets out to about the 21-yard line. Greg Harvey in on the tackle.
Holding. Offense. Number 60. Half the distance from the previous spot. Replay. Down.
Once again, that was a flag on Sherman Carter. And Dorsey, the bands are playing right now And how much of a distraction can that be if you're trying to get a play call?
It can be a pretty big distraction, especially if they're backed up in the end zone here with their own band, so it's going to be obviously louder down here. And you will have some problems with communicating, trying to get the plays in for the offense. You know, in a lot of situations, when it's your band playing that loud, you can get them to kind of quiet down a little bit, but not the case here today.
Give to Dante Thomas. Thomas breaks the line of scrimmage, may have gained about 3 or 4, getting back to the original line of scrimmage. Willie Farrell in on the tackle. And for Florida A&M, their defense has been on the field for a long time. Can they get a turnover? Can they make a big play to ignite the Florida A&M offense to do something big?
Well, anything is possible, but I'm sure Coach Reed is stressed to these guys, especially in a situation like this where you're trying to run the ball out. That ball security is of the utmost importance.
3rd and call it 9 for a first down. Give to Dante Thomas. Thomas breaks the line of scrimmage, and he will be about 5 to 6 yards short of a first. Dante Thomas having a good afternoon also.
Yeah, he has. You know, one of the things we've seen a lot in this game are penalties.
And while the bands are playing, let's go down to Ryan Cameron, who has another special guest. Ryan?
That's right, here with Tennessee State University President Melvin Johnson. How are you feeling right now?
Well, you know, Ryan, I'm feeling really good right now, although just like Yogi Berra says, it's not over until it's over. So we still got a little bit of time on the clock, but we're executing well at this point.
Now, we've heard the story about winning one for the Gipper. You're about to retire. You're done. How is this going to help you leave this game?
Well, I'm going to leave this game feeling extremely well. You know, it's been we've been down here 6 times, and if we get this win, it's going to be really, really a lot of joy in the Johnson household.
Well, you've dedicated your life to academics. Talk about your legacy at TSU and kind of how you feel about how you want to leave the university as you move on.
Well, I really want to leave the university with the strong academic programs that we've had, good, strong enrollment that we've been able to accomplish, and with being able to set the leadership goals that we had for our students, the internships that we've been able to provide them, the scholarships, the whole undergraduate research experience. So I'm just thrilled with what we've got in place for our student body to excel.
Well, congratulations on a great tenure, and it looks like you're going to leave with a victory.
Thank you. I hope so.
All right, guys, back to you. TSU trying to pull off the upset, but not Melvin. He says he knew it all along.
and that's why he's a doctor, because he knows what we don't know. Game is still not exactly at hand for Tennessee State because Florida A&M is trying to make a comeback. Antonio Lawrence with a long return, and now it's 1st and 10 for the Rattlers at their own 41-yard line. Opie with time finds Elliott, and he will get out close to another first down. Andrew Taylor in on the tackle. And for Tennessee State, they're starting to play some reserves, but Dorsey, is it a little bit too early to say this game is at hand?
I would think that Coach Reed feels pretty good about what his team is doing right now. Still getting to the quarterback for the 10th sack of the game. He doesn't seem too worried about it. You got a guy like Preston Brown having the type of day he's having, so you got to think if they get the ball back, you can always put the ball back in his hands to continue to run the clock out. But what a great win for Tennessee State. We talked about the alumni and how they feel losing 8 straight games to these guys. We haven't even talked about what this is going to do for recruiting for Tennessee State.
Harper on that sack. Opie with time. Pass thrown into the dirt. Intended for Adrian Smith. And for Martin Opie, this is most likely his first opportunity outside of the University of Miami game where he's seen serious adversity, and he's been trying to rally his team but unable to do so.
Yeah, today is just a tough day for the whole FAMU team, but it's a good learning experience for the young quarterback. There are a lot of things he can take going back to watch this film to see what happened that he can improve upon.
And there's a timeout called by Florida A&M.
Florida A&M, that's a second timeout.
When we come back, we will see if Joe Taylor and company can do a late fourth quarter rally. You're watching the Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic.
Polaris is having a factory up.
The Florida A&M punt will be taken inside the 10-yard line down to about the 5-yard line. Good punt by Brandon Holbrook. 52-yard punt. Hey fans, there was a Battle of the Bands earlier, and AT&T is proud to announce the winner of today's AT&T Battle of the Bands. Congratulations to the Marching 100 of Florida A&M University, our winner of the AT&T Battle of the Bands. First down and 10, deep in their own territory. Give to Dante Thomas. And he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage or lost a couple.
Willie Farrell, linebacker from FAMU, comes in untouched. Tackle Davis for a loss.
Now this is dangerous territory for Tennessee State. You don't want to make a mistake at your own 3-yard line.
You don't. Talked about earlier, ball security. You want to have 2 hands on the ball, especially when you're in traffic.
Thomas loses some yardage again. Drop back for another loss. You don't want to give up a safety or a fumble for a touchdown. Brandon Davis in on the tackle, just a redshirt freshman. And for Dante Thomas, I know he wants to move forward and not backwards. And for Rod Reed, he's been talking about playing a full 60 minutes. Outside of a few lapses here in the fourth quarter, Dorsey, their team has been playing pretty good.
They really have. They stepped up to the challenge, you know, almost to a man. When we talked to the defensive players yesterday here on the field, almost since there was a chip on the shoulders of a lot of players because they have lost 8 games in a row, and they're tired of answering questions about how many games they had lost. I thought the guys were kind of chippy. They had a little bit of attitude, and I loved it. I can appreciate guys who don't like being asked questions about losing game after game, but, you know, stepping up to the plate today, proving everyone wrong. Great accomplishment today for the Tennessee State Tigers.
Now a key 3rd and 13. Ball is placed on your own 1-yard line. Give to Thomas. Breaks the line of scrimmage and more. 20, 30. First down, Tennessee State. John Ojo on another touchdown-saving tackle.
Great run by Davis. Just a straight dive off tackle. They go back to their 2 tight end fullback set. Finds the seam, not even touch. Breaks a long run. I know coach would like to see him have that ball in the outside arm just in case it pops out. It goes out of bounds. But a great run nonetheless. He's having a great day as well. 7 yards per carry.
Dante Thomas, 71 yards on the ground. They are close to over 300 yards on the ground. New running back, Terrence Wright. And Wright skips around and goes nowhere. Actually takes about a 2 to 3 yard loss. Joe Taylor trying to continue to coach up his team. And right now he is still staying calm, cool, and collected, even though time is starting to run out on the Rattlers.
You know, we showed the standings earlier, where FAMU was ranked number 2 behind South Carolina State, obviously playing South Carolina State next week. You know, the question remains, did they overlook years, winning, 15 out of 13?
Dante Thomas gets back close to the original line of scrimmage.
Coach Taylor kept saying that they don't play like a 1-2 team, but they are 1-2. And it's hard to convince your players that a team is better than their record indicates.
And the Tennessee State faithful, who are still in the stands, are happy that finally the fangs of the Rattlers may be taken out of the Tigers. Now for Florida A&M, this was a big game, but they have possibly the biggest game of their season next week at home, their first home game of the season, as they face South Carolina State. Then they have another home game against Savannah State, go on the road against Norfolk State, who is number 3 in the Sheraton poll, Morgan State, North Carolina A&T, Hampton, which is always a tough game for them. That's their last home game. And then the Orange Blossom Classic in Orlando against rival Bethune-Cookman on the 20th of November. So if you're Joe Taylor right now, do you try to regroup and say, all right, let's get prepared for next week?
You have to. You have to go into the film room on Monday, see what happened, see where you went wrong, put it behind you as fast as you can. There's this game coming up. This is a big game coming up. It's still a big game. Despite the fact that they may have overlooked Tennessee State, you got to find a way to get these guys back up. For the players even coming in for FAMU, I felt if Tennessee State's guys were kind of chippy, FAMU's guys were pretty confident.
They've changed quarterbacks. Dominic Grooms in to hand the ball off to Dante Thomas. Grooms, a transfer from the University of Missouri, started a few games last year at quarterback. And he hands it off, goes quickly to the sidelines as Taylor Cisneros will come on board for a 4th down punt. Lawrence back deep for Florida A&M. Could he be the man to ignite this team with 3 minutes, 55 seconds and counting? High punt. Lawrence will take it at his own 14-yard line. Lawrence with some speed, has some room, gets beyond midfield and is brought down, but there is a late flag thrown at about the 49-yard line. Lamar Wallace in on the tackle for Tennessee State.
Looks like it's going to be a holding on number 24, Curtis Holcomb.
And the call is right on the mark.
During the return, walk in the back, number 55. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
And Joe Taylor not happy, but look at Tennessee State for the remainder of their schedule. They have to go to Indianapolis for the Circle City Classic, taking on North Carolina A&T. Then they go back to conference play, travel to Missouri, play Jacksonville State. Yes, that's the same Jacksonville State team that beat Ole Miss. 2 home games, and then they finish the season on the 20th of November. They're trying to win the OVC and make it to the FCS playoffs. Tarver on the tackle. And time is starting to run out for Florida A&M, and the celebration may soon begin for Tennessee State. An 8-year drought, losing to Joe Taylor and the Florida A&M Rattlers may all come to an end in about 3 minutes and counting. Opie with time. Almost intercepted by Clifford. Eugene Clifford has had a quiet afternoon. They've basically gone away from Eugene Clifford, who some feel could be drafted, following in the footsteps of Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, who's a first-round draft pick by the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, you know, in calling this game with you, James, for the last 3 years, he's been an extremely impressive football player. You know, not only in his cover skills, but his tackling, his aggressiveness, and just making plays.
Good play made there by Kevin Elliott. Wiley in on the tackle. Fans, make sure you stay tuned. We will have a trophy presentation immediately after the game of the most valuable player of the Bank of America Atlanta Football Classic. And I got a feeling it may be a young man from Antioch, Tennessee. Opie. Oh, that one goes nowhere, and a flag is thrown. I'm not sure if that pass was altered at all, or it just slipped out of his hand.
It looks like it slipped out of his hand. Bailed out once again by Tennessee State.
For 21. 10 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Marquez Hall with the hold. And Rod Reed is not happy at all, but in about 2 minutes, I think he will be smiling. And for Tennessee State, one thing they'll have to clean up for the rest of the season: penalties. 15 penalties so far for 125 yards. And the running back goes nowhere. James Owens, he's quick on his feet, but you have to stay on him in order to show how fast you are.
Another flag on the play, like some extracurricular activity out there. Marquez Hall may be in the middle of it. Tennessee State right now playing a real soft defense, rushing 3 guys, spying the quarterback and the running back with linebacker Rico Council, and dropping everybody else into coverage.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense, number 21. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, number 4. Penalties will offset. Second down.
Okay, and we reset. Adrian Smith along with Marquez Hall. Second and long. Plenty of time, and incomplete. Intended for Lawrence. Martin Opie, now his stats are going downhill, but he lives to play another day.
It's going to be hard to throw the ball in this situation, knowing that Tennessee State is in a prevent, dropping 7 or 8 guys every time, keeping everybody in front of them, just trying to make sure they don't get a big play.
Third, call it 15. Opie going deep. Oh, too deep for anyone. And now his numbers: 14 of 30, 168 yards, and 1 interception.
You know, if you look at the stat sheet after the game, his numbers won't look impressive. But if you go back and you watch the game, you'll understand what happened. You know, you get behind in the game like they do. You got to pass the ball. Tennessee State knows you have to pass the ball. They get the appropriate defense. It's hard to make any completions.
4th down and 14. Desperation time for the Rattlers. Do they have any venom left in their fangs? Opie getting some pressure. Has plenty of room to run. And he will slide down. Enough for a first down.
talked about his scrambling ability at the top of the program. And here you see it here. Reverses back out to his left, and he's got a bunch of open field. Eugene Crawford coming up. Opie sees him and goes, you know, I think I'm going to lay it down right here. It's a good place.
Opie finds his receiver. Antonio Lawrence has had a pretty good afternoon returning kicks and also in the receiver position. Lawrence with his 3rd catch of the afternoon. Has 63 yards receiving. Opie with plenty of time. Flag is thrown. He jumps over his own blocker and collapsed right at the first down marker. He's nifty on his feet when he needs to be.
He is, yeah. Very nifty.
And now he is down. He may have been a little bit too nifty for his own good. Martin Opie, the starting quarterback, is on the ground with his helmet off.
Looks like he's holding on to his right knee. You hope nothing happened on a jump stop where he cut back left. You hope and pray that that knee didn't give out.
Jumps over his own blocker.
Right there, right there. Does not look good.
Nifty on his feet, and he looks like he tried to land on his tippy toe.
Defense number 15. Penalty is declined. First down.
In a situation like this where the game is out of hand, you may want to question why the starting quarterback is still in the game, but when you have a young quarterback who doesn't have a lot of experience, you want to keep him in the game, see different looks, see how he handles the pressure.
Well, they do have an experienced backup in redshirt senior Eddie Battle, but right now the focus is on Martin Opie, the redshirt sophomore from Plantation, Florida, went to Fort Lauderdale High School, and right now they're hoping that it's nothing more than just a slight injury and nothing major, because they have their first home game next week against South Carolina State, the reigning MEAC champion. And that is a very good sign. The young man leaving on his own power.
Very good sign. No limp walking off. Maybe just a tweak. He has a band around that left leg.
And now Eddie Battle, redshirt senior from Titusville, Florida. With less than a minute to go, I think right now his main job is to manage the game. And right out the gate, Tennessee State doesn't stop. Another sack by the Tigers. Brandon Bather in on the play along with a host of other white helmets for Tennessee State.
Tennessee State has been relentless in their pursuit of the quarterbacks today. 11 sacks on the day. It's hard to get anything done in the passing game when you're under that much pressure.
And it looks like Coach will get a shower. Battle flag on the play with 6 seconds left to play. But for Rod Reed, he's a little wet right now because his players are letting him know congratulations. His first season as head coach. He finally gets the Rattlers off of Tennessee State Tigers' back with 6 seconds left to play. And yeah.
Well deserved. He's done an exceptional job with this group of young men.
Pass interference. Defense number 33. Ball will be spotted at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
Hugs galore on the Tiger sideline as the 8-year drought against Florida A&M is finally over. And Battle, one more pass, incomplete. And there is 1 second left on the clock.
Give FAMU one more chance to put a couple of more points on the board. Very disappointing loss for the Rattlers, who fully expected to come in here and come out with a victory. Surprising victory by the Tennessee State Tigers.
And we have a timeout. When we come back, we'll see what happens with 1 second left as Tennessee State is holding on to a 29-12 lead.
Ground control, we have a problem. Switching to lithium power.
I feel better already.
And Preston Brown is the AT&T most valuable player. 28 carries, 233 yards rushing, 1 touchdown, an Atlanta Football Classic record. Congratulations to Preston Brown. He is our AT&T MVP winner. Last play of the game, 1 second left on the clock. Eddie battled the pass, and he finds his receiver for a score. Max Purcell with the touchdown to make it 29-18. They will have a point after attempt. And Joe Taylor now has to regroup to get his guys ready for next week. And once again, a job well done by the 100 Black Men of Atlanta for making sure the Atlanta Football Classic continues to make history. This was the 22nd Atlanta Football Classic, and we look forward to many, many more. Special thanks to the football teams and the bands from Florida A&M and Tennessee State, and also to the staff of the Georgia Dome who provide service with a smile. Once again, the final score, Tennessee State 29 and Florida A&M 18. Coming up next on Versus Whacked Out Sports, for Ryan Cameron, Dorsey Levens, I'm James Barrett. So long from Atlanta.